Hi, welcome back, guys. This is your friend, the DN WhatIf, with another fanfiction. This is the first part of What If Deku Had a Secret Harem. The recommended playback speed for this video is 1.25x. All credits for this video go to their respective authors, so please support the real author. Check out the link in the description for more details, and go to the story link to say hi to the author. Please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now, let's get into the fanfic. It was now in the early afternoon in UA High. All of Class 10 were in the living room of their dorm just doing whatever they wanted that day. Bakugo, Kaminari, Ashido, Kirishima, and Sira were playing a fighting game, and the blonde with a temper is wrecking them. Jiru was humming the tune to the music that she was listening to. Shoji and Takoyami were both reading books that they had some interest in. Koda and Sato were cooking some lunch in the kitchen, whilst Todoroki watched them while eating some soba. Asui and Uraraka were having a chat on the dining table, while Midoriya was writing on his notebook near them. Ida and Yaoyorozu were helping Aoyama, Hagakure, and Ajiro in their studies, just a few seats away from the three. Lastly, Mainta was nowhere to be seen. As everyone continues to do what they were doing, Izuku continues to write what he was thinking on his notebook with absolute focus. He could hear Bakugo arguing with those he was playing with, as they were whining of losing from him, while he listens to Ida and Yaoyorozu's lessons. Then a thought went to his head. Was there something that I was supposed to do today? He thought as he set down his pencil. Knock knock. Suddenly, everyone stopped to what they were doing when they heard knocking on the door. Who could that be? Kaminari asked after pausing the game. I don't think any of us are expecting someone, Siro said. Well, someone has to, Jiru said as she stopped listening to her music after hearing the knocking. Let me see who it is, Ida said as he stood up and went for the door with everyone looking towards it. The stern teen then grabbed the doorknob, then turned it to open the door, and was met by a pair of people outside. One of them is a young woman in her late teens, having green hair and eyes. The other is an androgynous teen with violet eyes, short white and violet hair, with a large violet strand on top, while shorter violet hair underneath the white. Can I help you? Ida asked as he was a bit confused along with everyone else, except for one. Oh hi, the green-haired woman introduced. So, you must be a student here. Then you must know Izuku. Yes I am. Just who are you, miss? And what reason do you want with him? Ida politely asked. Oh, Megumi, but most people know me as Gumi. The now named Gumi then introduced herself, and the others realized who she was. Wait, you're Gumi? The Gumi? The one from Vocaloid? Jiru exclaimed in shock as everyone felt the same. They of course heard of Vocaloid. There is nothing so famous in Japan, other than Heroes, is Vocaloid itself. A singing company that started from a musical instrument manufacturer, till they began to hire singers for a project that leads to the rise of Vocaloid. And standing before them is one of the greatest Vocaloid singers in the world. And the reason why I want to talk with him. Gumi then has a serious look on her face. Because he is going to have a small talk with his older sister. Oh, older sister? Kaminari stutters in shock as everyone felt the same. This was new information for them, and they couldn't believe it. They looked to where Izuku once was, and found him nowhere to be seen, so they look at Bakugo for answers. Hell, if I fucking know. I never saw her anywhere near Deku, nor his mom in my fucking life. The blonde yelled at them, as he was also surprised. Gumi just sighs, must have expected this, and said, just tell me where my brother could be. Probably in his room on the second floor, the second door to the right, Ida said as he was still a bit shaken by this. Thanks. Gumi then went towards the stairs with the other visitor following her. As they went up, everyone finally snapped out of their shock. Never knew Greenie would be related to a music star, Ashido said. No kidding. If I knew, I could have asked him to get me an autograph, Zero said. Same, Hagakure said in agreement. Bang, bang, bang. Izuku Midoriya, open this door this instant. They could hear Gumi screaming, as they were a bit worried about their classmate. Bang, thud, ah. They knew whose scream was that as everyone scrambled to see what is going on. They went upstairs to see the other girl holding Izuku by the scruff of his collar. The green-haired teen having a nervous look on his face. Deku, what is going on? Uraraka shouted at her crush, as he just gave them the same nervous look. So, you didn't tell them? Gumi asked. I didn't want the attention, he mumbled as she just let out a sigh. Let's talk about this downstairs. And you better tell everything, you damn nerd, Bakugo yelled. P promise, Izuku stutters as he and the rest then went downstairs and sat down. They were just there in an uncomfortable silence till one of them finally spoke up. So, your sister is Gumi, one of the most famous singers in the entire world, Jiru asked. Oh yeah, Izuku said and quickly looked down in embarrassment when he felt their stares. How come we never know this? Kirishima asked. Well, you never asked, he said as his classmates looked a bit sheepish. And I didn't want any of the attention with Gumi being my sister. So why haven't we seen her before? Ochako asked. I'm living near my place of work, so we mostly send each other texts, Gumi said. So, who is the other person you brought along? Shoto asked. Really? Gumi said to them with a raised eyebrow. Just take a good look, and you can guess who she is. They blinked when they learned that the other visitor was a girl. Then they took a better look at her and realized who she was. Your V-flower, Kaminari exclaimed, completely shocked yet again. Most people call me Flower, but my actual name is Hana Kaikane. The now-named Flower introduced in a monotone voice, yet sounds slightly deep for a girl. Dude, just how many people in Vocaloid do you know? Zero asked the shy teen. Almost all of them, he mumbles. And some in Utao and Sevio, Gumi added. So, have you gone out with one of them? Denki asked as everyone looked at him. Kaminari, that is just deplorable, Ida exclaimed as he chops the air. And so stupid, Kyoka added, making the electric user flinch. And who would even go out with the damn nerd? Bakugo said. The class then saw Flower glaring at him as she moved closer to Izuku and put her hand on his. Me, she simply said. Hey! This shocked the class even more, especially Ochako, who was staring at Flower in envy. Kaminari tried to reach out for Izuku, wanting to know how the green-haired teen get a hottie like Flower, but he was held back by Jiru and Tsuyu. Medabro, tell me how you did it, he pleaded to Midoriya while being restrained by the two girls. Izuku could only look down out of embarrassment as his sister looked at this in amusement. Well, I could tell how he did it, Gumi said as Izuku looked up in horror while Flower's eyes widened a little. Gumi, no, he tried to stop her, but she managed to get away and hold him down. Izuku and Flower knew each other way back, but they never had the guts to confess with one another, Gumi said as both teens have blushes on their faces. It wasn't until 3 years ago that Izuku managed to get her heart by singing a serenade. The girls saw this as very romantic, but they and everyone else had one question in mind. Midoriya can sing? Todoroki asked. Oh, he does, he's just shy about it, Gumi said. There's no fucking way that this nerd knows how to fucking sing, Bakugo said as Gumi glares at him. Oh, he knows, because I'm the one who taught him, Gumi said with a huff before looking at her brother, then back to them. And he can prove it. Izuku just continued to look down when their attention was on him again. Can you Deku? Ochako asked. Come on bro, give us some beats, Kirishima said. It would be magnifique, Aoyama said. Izuku seems to shrink from their demands as Gumi just rolled her eyes and puts a hand on her brother's shoulder. Come on, you can do it. I didn't teach you what I knew back when we were kids for nothing, she said to him. And they won't stop asking till you do. I really want to say that I hate you, but I can't, Izuku said as he was already flustered enough. Then he noticed Flower looking at him. Can you please? She asked as Izuku sighs in defeat. Fine. Anyone have a microphone? He asked, and his sister then brought out a mic that she carries around in the handbag that she carries. He looks at her then to the mic on her hand before looking back at her. Well, it wouldn't be a song without some beat, wouldn't it? So I can't play one. His sister then brought a speaker and a music player and placed it on the table. He looks at her then to the speaker on the table before looking back at her then sighs. He looks towards his classmates. Any requests? The rest of his class began to think of any song till one of them had one. Memories, Maroon 5, Kyoka said as everyone looked at her. She had to look away to not show her blush. Nice, a classic, Gumi said as she began to look up the song in her music player. She finds it, and then looks at her brother before giving him a nod. The class then waited as the beat began to play and Izuku began to sing. The class then waited as the beat began to play. The soft melody could be heard as Izuku began to sing. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here. But you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. His classmates were in now shock as they heard the voice of the Verdant hero, while Gumi and Flower were just listening along. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain. When I believed in forever, and everything would stay the same. Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name. 'Cause I can't reach out to call you. But I know I will one day, yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody hurts someday, aye. But everything gon' be alright. Go and raise a glass and say, aye. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you. Uraraka's heart began to beat loudly as there was a blush on her face as she continued to listen. Do-do, do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do. Memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost. When I felt all of the hatred was too powerful to stop, ooh, yeah. Now my heart feel like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you that you know I'll never drop, yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody hurts someday, aye. But everything gon' be alright. Go and raise a glass and say, aye. Here's to the ones that we got, oh. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through, no. Toast to the ones here today, aye. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories, aye. And the memories bring back you. Do-do, do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do. Memories bring back you. Do-do, do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, yeah. Memories bring back you. Yeah. Do. Memories bring back you. As soon as Izuku finished singing, there was only silence. He was a bit nervous till he received a standing ovation from his classmates. That was awesome, dude, Kirishima said. You have such a wonderful voice, Midoriya, Momo said, agreeing with the hardening user. Like seriously, why haven't you shown us this? Mina said. Izuku had to go below the table to avoid his classmates' stares out of embarrassment, while his sister let out a giggle while Flower has her eyes closed. But she has a small, amused smile on her face. Hey guys, Minta then came down the stairs due to the commotion. What is going on? He then saw both Gumi and Flower, his mind processing this, and suddenly got a certain glint in his eyes. The two noticed this, and they glared at him. Flower then suddenly crossed her arms. Minta had to hold his balls as he began to fall down the stairs, which resulted in him passing out on the floor. The other students had to look to what had just happened and saw a clenched fist on the spot on the floor where Minta once was, and it began to disappear into disintegrating petals. What was that? Kyoka asked Izuku as he just let out a sigh. Her quirk. *V flower quirk. Bloom *. She can replicate every part of her body that would bloom on any surface and would follow her commands. But she needs a lot of control and stamina to maintain them for longer uses. I hate those type of guys, Flowers said with a huff. That is such an unacceptable use of a quirk if it is used for something like this, Ida said as he yet again chops the air to show his annoyance. Sorry, she really hates perverts, Izuku apologized. And that is a good reason, Jiru said, defending the act, and none of the girls disagreed. So does this prove anything? Gumi asked, trying to divert the conversation away from the unconscious pervert. Yeah, we are, and we want to hear more, Ashido said in excitement, and everyone except Bakugo and Minta agreed, the former not wanting to admit it, while the latter was still unconscious. Izuku seems to continue to shrink on his seat from his classmates, pressuring him, and Gumi saw this as the time to intervene. I think that's enough for him. We still have things to do, Gumi said. Why are you even here? Her brother asked as she gave him a questioning look. Did you really forget Aunt Tatsumaki's birthday? She said as Izuku had a blank look on his face. Then it finally hit him, and he became more nervous. He immediately ran back to his room and quickly came out wearing more casual clothes, then ran back down to drag both his sister and Flower towards the door. Sorry guys, I'll come back soon, he shouted towards his classmates before exiting the place. They then heard a groan as everyone looked to see Minta waking up. Where are they? Minta yelled as everyone decided to ignore his ranting, mostly not getting an autograph and certain request. Let's just stop right there. Izuku is currently in his sister's car as he sits with her in the front, while Flower sits in the back as she checks her phone. He was completely nervous with his body shaking in fear. Oh man, Aunt Tatsumaki will kill me, he mutters in fear as his sister heard this. Come on Zuko, chill out. Aunt Tatsumaki might get mad at you, but she wouldn't fault you for forgetting. You had a lot on your plate when you first arrived in UA, so that is a good excuse, she assured him. Yeah, but I know that she isn't going to hold anything back to scold me, Izuku said as he has a solemn look on his face. Gumi decided to keep quiet to give her brother some space, and it was an awkward ride for them. Trying to break this awkwardness, Flower reached out for the radio till it began to play a certain tune that the three knew. They smiled as they listened to the opening beat, and Izuku decided to sing along. Where there's a will, there's a way, kind of beautiful. And every night has its day, so magical. And if there's love in this life, there's no obstacle that can't be defeated. They continued to drive through the city as they listened to more songs in the radio. For every tyrant, a tear for the vulnerable. In every lost soul, the bones of a miracle. For every dreamer, a dream, we're unstoppable. With something to believe in. The three of them then began to chat as civilians pass by while the heroes patrol the area. Monday left me broken. Tuesday, I was through with hoping. Wednesday, my empty arms were open. Thursday, waiting for love, waiting for love. Thank the stars, it's Friday. I'm burning like a fire gone wild on Saturday. Guess I won't be coming to church on Sunday. I'll be waiting for love to come around. They were then out of the prefecture, as they now took the road in another one. As Gumi continues to drive, she couldn't help but smile as she sees Izuku talking with Flower. passing through wide clearings with small towns along the way. They would then jam out to more songs from the radio, while both Izuku and Flower dance in their seats, while Gumi bops her head with the beat. We are one of a kind, irreplaceable. How did I get so blind and so cynical? If there's love in this life, we're unstoppable. No, we can't be defeated. Monday left me broken. Tuesday, I was through with hoping. Wednesday, my empty arms were open. Thursday, waiting for love. Waiting for love. Thank the stars, it's Friday. I'm burning like a fire gone wild on Saturday. Guess I won't be coming to church on Sunday. I'll be waiting for love to come around. Gumi then turned off the radio and said, I think that's enough. We are getting close to Aunt Tatsumaki's place. Still can't believe that Aunt Fubuki married someone who has the same name as the city, Izuku added as his sister giggled a bit. Yeah, but he is still a great part of the family. Unlike him, Gumi said with a bit of venom at the end, which made his brother worry for her. It's been years now, you should have moved on by now, he said as his sister let out a sigh. I really can't help it. It still pisses me off so much, she said as they now enter the city. Others will also be there, Flower said, wanting to change the subject of the conversation from escalating. Deciding to change it as well, Izuku said. The others. You mean the rest of squad? Yeah, but I think Fukase just wants to be there for the free food, she said. Both green-haired teens laugh a bit from this. How's Pico doing? Still living with his sister? Izuku asked. Yeah, he was still depressed about his contract being cancelled, but he did move on a bit from it. It's not that bad. At least he wasn't cancelled after hiring. There were some who got hired, but their contracts between Vocaloid and their companies were terminated for multiple reasons, Gumi said with a frown on her face. It's really a shame. We would have liked to actually work with them. That's the music industry for you, Flower said. Okay, let's change the subject before we continue to bash the music industry, Izuku said, not wanting to hear a full rant about it. Yeah, you're right. Plus, we are here now actually, Gumi said as she then went to park her car somewhere close to their destination. They then get out as they now face a large apartment building. So here we are. Good thing Mom told me to get you before she left, Gumi said as she had a smile on her face when she saw the embarrassed look on his brother's face. Let's just go in, he said as the three of them then entered the place. Back in Class 1A's dormitory, everyone was still in a state of shock after the reveal hours ago. Some went to see what's on TV to get their minds of it. Some went to their rooms, while those who remained tried to relax by eating some snacks. Mina was stomping her feet, her mind filled with many questions that needed to be answered, and she wanted them badly. But she's not the only one, while the others weren't bothered by it. You could clearly see how it still affects them, and wanted to know more. Some tried to suppress them, but others aren't so patient as them. Okay, that's it, Bakugo yelled, still outraged that Izuku is still having something that he doesn't know. I'm going to find that fucking nerd and get those answers fucking out of him. Bakugo, no. You shouldn't resort to violence. Midoriya promised that he will tell us, but he is currently having a situation with his family, and we need to respect that, Ida said as he tries to stop the blonde to do something that would drastically escalate. But how long do we have to wait, Tilda? Mina whines as she can't stop thinking about it. The possibilities were so many. We still need to respect his privacy. He will tell us when he wants to, Momo said, just wanting to divert her thoughts away from the subject. Might I add that Midoriya also has a girlfriend? Minta said ever since he got informed of what happened. Suyu just hits him with her long tongue, making the midget fall over from his seat. That is not important, Jiru said, quite angered with the pervert. Still, Midoriya has a girlfriend. How did they actually meet? Denki asked as the others thought about it as well. Still, we must wait for him to come back, Ida said. Fuck this shit. I'm going to check his room. Bakugo then marched upstairs to check Izuku's room. Bakugo, stop this at once. Ida quickly followed before the blonde could do anything. The others quickly follow to help, while some just want to see what will happen next. There they saw Tenya holding Bakugo back from their classmates' dorm room as the blonde tries to escape from their class president's hold. "Let go of me, Four Eyes," Bakugo yelled. "I shall not let you desecrate Midoriya's room." "Fuck off." The blonde then managed to get off the strict teen by releasing a small explosion from his hands that made Tenya flinch. Bakugo then used a bit stronger explosion to forcefully open the door to Izuku's room. There they saw inside were Izuku's memorabilia of their teacher. And no, one hero, All Might. Almost every spot has figurines of the hero, along with some posters of the hero. Bakugo then began to look around his room, messing up some of the owner's room a bit while the others tried to fix it. "Bakugo, stop throwing Midoriya's stuff on the ground. It's unruly." Momo yelled at the blonde as she, Tenya, Todoroki, Ochako, and Tsuyu cleaning up the mess while the others look from outside. "I don't fucking care till I find some fucking answers," the blonde yelled as he then looked under Izuku's bed before dragging out a box and looked inside. As he tosses away things from the box, Ochako would pick them up till she saw something interesting. It was a small picture, and she picked it up. It was a picture of both Gumi and Izuku when they were children. Gumi was singing while using a spatula as a mic, while Izuku looked at her in amazement. That's adorable," she thought with a smile, as she then set it down to continue picking up the rest of her crush's stuff. After finishing with one box, Bakugo grabbed another one under the bed and saw that it was filled with CDs. He looked at one of them and saw what was taped on it. "Finally," he yelled as he put back the CD and carried the entire box. "What did you find?" Mina said in anticipation, as the others from outside also felt the same. "Bakugo, put that down now," Ida yelled at the blonde as Katsuki just sneers. "If that fucking nerd can't tell me now, then I'll look for them myself. But think of the consequences. What will you think will happen if anyone knows what you did? Well, might as well get this fucking over with and move on." Bakugo then pushed Ida away and went downstairs with everyone else following him. Katsuki then walks over to the television and grabbed the CD player nearby. He connects it to the TV and went through the box. "Whoa, never knew you could use this old thing," Kirishima said as he looked at the CD player. "Of course, I fucking know, shitty hair," the blonde yelled as he continues to look through the box. "Come on, what's in it?" Mina then took a peek in the box to see more CDs with labels. "Are those songs?" Denki asked Zero to even pick one up. "Not only songs, but I also think some of them are just short videos," the tape user said as he looked at one of them. "They have covers like Phoenix by Fall Out Boys, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, and even those promotional songs for those famous games. Sweet. There are even songs here from other countries." Even Toru joined in as she checked some CDs. "Stop this, all of you," Ida tried to convince them. But they were so engrossed in the contents of the box that they ignored him. Todoroki then placed a hand on Tenya's shoulder and said, "They will not listen to you at this point." Tenya just slumps down as he could only feel shame of not stopping this sooner due to his own hesitation and curiosity. "What do we pick? What do we pick?" Mina bounced in excitement as half of the class were now into this. Achoo. Izuku suddenly sneezed, as he was currently playing on a console in the apartment's living room till his nose reacted. "Dude, why did you sneeze?" the other person sitting beside him said. It was a redhead boy that looked very deformed on his left side. While he retained his bright red hair and red skin, his left side looked very burnt around his bright red eye, around his mouth, on his neck, then to the rest of his body. While his right side looked very fine with no sign of any burns and retains his black eye. He wears a white shirt over a white long-sleeved Velcro coat that is very wrinkled on the left side to enhance the deformity he is so proud of, along with a red pocket with a black X on it. A red bow around his neck. A red rectangular cloth that is attached on both sides of his shoulder by ragged stitches, as it has black tiger stripe patterns and a black 4 on the middle of the cloth, and a straight 16-pronged pattern on the center front of the center. Under the coat and below his shirt is a red skirt that is slightly shown due to the bottom of the right side of the coat being pinned on his waist. A pair of black slacks, a pair of white shoes with high red collars. On each shoe is a red X on the laces and red soles. For accessories, he has a red, black, and white top hat with a rabbit muzzle and large rabbit eyes. His right wrist has a red folded bracelet-like sleeve, while his left arm is covered in bandages. A small black flag with a white X clipped on his hair, and a red X mark on the bridge of his nose. No idea. I think someone is talking about me, Izuku said as he ran his nose. It might be something less important. Anyways, fatality. The redhead cheered as Izuku looked at the screen, and he indeed did a fatality as they were playing Mortal Kombat 11. Again? Izuku said in disappointment, as he then looked towards his playmate. You took advantage of me sneezing. You snooze, you lose. Greenie. The redhead taunts him till something hits him on the head, and he reaches out it. Oh fuck. Izuku looked behind him to see for a bunch of pink petals disappearing in the air. Fuck, flower. Do you really need to hit me that hard? The redhead yelled towards the kitchen as Flower peeked out to look at them. You deserve much more, Fucase, especially with all of the shenanigans that you have done ever since you joined, she said as she went back to the kitchen. The now named Fucase just grumbles. He then looks at Izuku and said, Flower is just harsh. I don't know. I heard from everyone how you are pretty much a menace in the HQ, Izuku said as Fucase just scoffed. They are just killjoys, especially Flower. Why did you even date her? He asked, but not in a malicious way. Rather, he said it jokingly. Izuku just smiled and shrugs, then said, I guess I'm just that lucky. Fucase then smirks and said, Then you are even luckier having more girls with you. Izuku just looked embarrassed as he looked away while Fucase laughed. Back in UA, everyone has decided to do this equally, so they put the box on the coffee table, and they will randomly take turns choosing one. Now it's Kirishima's turn. Alright, let's see here, he said as he looked through the box till he finds something that catches his interest. Undefeatable by Sega? I think I remembered that song. I think they used it in that Sonic game, Denki said. Play it, Mina said to Kirishima in excitement. Ijiru just smiled and said, all right, I'm putting it in. The redhead then put the CD in the player as he went back to sit with the rest, while Ochako pressed play on the remote. Then showed in the TV is Izuku, and alongside him were Flower and people that they don't know yet. I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of me. Go. They were now in awe as they heard Izuku's voice, while the people around him played their instruments amazingly. Welcome to the mind of a different kind, where we've been growing slowly. Think I'm on 11. But I'm on a 9. Guess you don't really know me. Running from the past is a losing game. It never brings you glory. Been down this road before. Already know this story. Face your fear. Face your fear. It's time to face your fears. 'Cause when your time has come and gone, I'll be the one to carry on. And you can throw me to the wolves. 'Cause I am undefeatable. I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of me. I'm what you get when the stars collide. Now face it. You're just an enemy. Whoa, you're crossing the line. Whoa, now we've run out of time. Whoa, I'll take what is mine. And when the story ends, it becomes a part of me. I'll give you what it takes. I'll find another way. I used to never know. But now it's crystal clear. This feeling's just a ghost. It's time to face your fears. 'Cause when your time has come and gone, I'll be the one to carry on. and you can throw me to the wolves. 'Cause I am undefeatable. I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of me. I'm what you get when the stars collide. Now face it, you're just an enemy. I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of me. I'm what you get when the stars collide. Now face it, you're just an enemy. Welcome to the mind of a different kind, where we've been growing slowly. Think I'm on an 11, but I'm on a 9. Guess you don't really know me. Running from the past is a losing game. It never brings you glory. Been down this road before. Already know this story. The video then ends as everyone begins to talk to each other. Man, that was awesome. Midoriya wasn't kidding, Denki said. Who? The brother or the sister? Todoroki asked. Of course, I meant the sister. She's the one who taught him. So she deserves a compliment for this, the blonde said. He is right about that, Zero said. All right, it's my turn. Mina then dived for the box and began to check inside it. Man, after hearing that, I want to listen to more of them, Kirishima said. Midoriya does have a great voice, Todoroki said. He sounds like an angel, Hagakure added. But that high tempo was just dope, Kyoka said. I got one. Mina cheers as she holds up one of the CDs and reads what is written on it. Hibikase X Echo. I still remembered them playing this on stage. Toru squeals when she hears this and says, both Gumi and Miku's duet was so beautiful. Put it in. Mina quickly took out the previous CD and put on the next one. She then joined back with the rest and pressed play. On the TV, a really close recording of a dark and empty stage. Most of the class were giddy when they saw this because they knew what's to come. A smooth retro beat then began to play as the tempo began to rise and a female voice is heard as it began to sing. Mayanaka nai tsugu odo no keikoku. Kaiuea nai yugozen rieji. Anata ga furu hikari masu netsu. Yubasaki nai odoraser. Kenkaku soku taken. Neshizumaru yoru futari dake no mitsu. A countdown appeared on stage as it starts at 10 before going down. Taken soku kaiken. Kasanaru hake nai muryu serit iku. As it reached 1, a girl with teal hair and eyes then appeared on stage, behind another screen, as the tempo continued to rise. Wasarenade ni watashi no kowo. Gamen koshi de roman tu chanto ashite. Vacharu dat tsukahanasemed. Anata no odo nai mata alberit idai. Abot ite ni watashi no kowo. Anata ga kurita kono mai subit wo. The girl then zooms out as she picks up a hammer on the ground. Nitsumo anata to futari. She then began to smash the partition between her and the audience as cracks began to form. Kasaneta iki to odo to hibikase. She finally smashed the divider between her and the crowd as she stumbles a bit. The beat continues to play in the background as she recovers. She then dropped the hammer and crouched down before leaping forward, landing on stage with slam, and continued to sing while adding some moves in it. Mayanaka nai tu hikita netsu. Machitsuzu kataru gozen rieji. Kagami utsushi nai halwa shite iku. Shiranai odo ga tsudo. Kenkaku soku taken. Neshizumaru yoru to ikidzukai soro. Taken soku kaiken. Sabita rajaku ima ikido wo kaguru. Wasarenade ni watashi no kowo. Jiken mo kote tabasu shigenaru. Vacharu da nant iwanade. Anata no odo nai mata asarit idai. Obot ite ni watashi no kowo. Anata ga kurita kono mai subit wo. Koto no ha tahatsu no ni ga majawaru. Kono iki to odo to hibikase. A poll then appeared before her as some viewers felt quite steamy watching this. Anata no unda odo nai tata koi wo shite ita no. Kanishimi okori kanshin subit uchinarasu. Gumi then appeared on the screen as she also began to sing as well. Into an ugly black. I'm gonna run away now. And never look back. I'm gonna burn my house down. into an ugly black X2. I'm gonna run away now. I'm gonna burn my house down. Into an ugly black X2. I'm gonna run away now. I'm gonna burn my house down. She then picked up the hammer from before and hits the partitions once before dropping it and resorting to instead kicking it as hard as she can. Into an ugly black X5. She then smashes through, stumbling along, then jumps off. Muryu Sarit Iku. Gumi then lands in a kneeling position as the girl with her jumped, and she looks like she was suspended in the air. Wasarenade ni watashi no kowo. The girl then landed on the ground as she and Gumi began to dance in perfect sync. Gamen koshi de Roman 2 chanto ashite. Vochuru dat tsukahanasenet. Anata no odo naimata alberit irai. Obod ite ni watashi no kowo. Anata ga kireta kono my subit wo. Mitsumo anata to futari. Kasaneta iki to odo wo hibikes. The trembling fear is more than I can take. When I'm up against the echo in the mirror. The trembling fear is more than I can take. When I'm up against the echo in the mirror. Odo hibikes. The two continued to dance till they had to stop in a pose for a cheering crowd. A small tune then heard as the two looks at the screen behind them and was quickly taken aback when it was kicked through by a pair of blondes of the opposite genders. As the next song was about to begin, the camera began to move away from the stage as it follows Gumi in the back. With the next song playing in the background, the one holding the camera began to walk to the back of the stage, while the watchers could hear running behind them. They soon reached the back, and the ones watching were met with a surprise. Both Gumi and the girl were hugging each other out of pure joy as they spun around in excitement till they noticed the camera pointing at them. They have blushes on their faces as people behind the camera began to snicker, while they were chanting to them to just kiss. Izuku, turn that off. Gumi yelled, completely embarrassed as she ran up to the camera, but the holder, Izuku, quickly ran off with short glimpses of other people with him, laughing as the video then ended. Huh? Do you think that they are a thing? Zero asked. I don't know. Vocaloid mostly keeps it to themselves. No one really knows what's happening in the back alongside Yuto and Sevio. But I guess Izuku has some because of his connections with his sister. Momo said as everyone agreed with her. Those three companies always keep things confidential for their singers. No one really knows who they really are except for some confirmations to the singers themselves. But all of their relationships are hidden away, and people only speculate. And we looked over them, Sato said as everyone winced. So do we stop? Shoji asked. Maybe we should avoid live songs for a while, till they open up to us, Kyoka said. No, we must stop immediately, Tenya yelled at everyone. But we want to hear more Tilda, both Mina and Toru whine. Yeah, we could still watch the ones they made for promotional videos, or those that they personally cover, Kirishima said. Gumi was open to admitting that Midoriya was her brother, so maybe she must really trust us to keep this a secret, Kyoka said. Maybe we can even find some Yuto covers. I do love those made with Defoko, Tsu said as Ida looked at her, feeling betrayed that the other reasonable voice in the class got sucked into this. Ida just sat back down, defeated, as Todoroki pat his back for comfort. As he does so, the rest continue to talk about the multiple possibilities in the box, then the questions that they needed answers for when their green-haired classmate comes back. They just have to wait and see. With Izuku, the apartment was now filling up with people as they talk and play with each other. But him, since he was in a very sticky situation. And it takes the form of a petite woman with a short stature. She has an adolescent face with emerald green eyes and green hair that naturally curls up on the ends. She wears a form-fitting black dress with long sleeves and 4 high-cut leg slits that show off her shapely long legs and low-heeled black shoes. Auntie. Don't auntie me. This is the 3rd time that you almost forgot my birthday. 3rd. I know that you are having some tough times in you. But that's not an excuse to forgot your own aunt's birthday. I'm sorry. Watching this from with a pair of sunken blue eyes is a tall, skinny man with blonde hair. This is Tashinori Yagi Ake All Might, former No. 1 hero. Alongside him is a plump woman with the same hair and eye color as Izuku, but slightly darker. This is Izuku Midoriya, Izuku's mother. Who knew the terrible tornado can be this petty? All Might said as Izuku giggles a bit. All Might is one of the many people who knew more of the Midoriyas, and those close to them due to him having to be there for his successor. He was quite surprised to know who they are, but he was happy that there were much more people that has Izuku's back. Tatsumaki can be a bit hot-headed, but she's still my older sister, Inko said. Despite how short she is, he whispered to her as Inko has to stop herself from laughing. Yo, Pico! They then heard Fuke shouting. He was by the door as he opened it to reveal 4 people outside. The first one is an androgynous boy. He looked really lean and a feminine face, as a trap should. He has short white hair with a pea-shaped ahoge and black nail polish. He has heterochromia. His right eye is green while his left eye is blue. He wears a white sleeveless futuristic dress that reaches his thighs, and it also has a conical high collar, a pair of black slacks with teal digital design, a pair of white shoes with collars that reaches his knees, a pair of long detached sleeves, and a large decorative plug that is attached to his dress like a tail. The second is a young woman with long red hair, with a sickle-shaped ahoge and bright red eyes. She wears an extravagant, white, sleeveless dress with a high collar, a 2-tier, star-shaped miniskirt with a bottom tier being more transparent, a pair of large star ornaments on her hips, and 2 diamond-shaped, vertically aligned openings on the chest that exposed a little bit of her bust. She also wore a white long-sleeved bolero jacket over the dress with a hoodie, a pair of black stars on the base of the hood, a black interior, and the sleeves also doubling as fingerless gloves, while actual black gloves are worn underneath the sleeves. Then a pair of white high-heel boots that reaches her knees with a black back quarter, a pair white stars on the openings of the boots, and holographic on the side of the heel counter. The third is a young man with shot black hair and black eyes. He wears a black hoodie under a red, white, and blue checkered sweater, and under that is a white polo shirt. He also wears a pair of gray pants that is being held by a belt with a steel buckle and a pair of brown boots. Additionally, he wears a pair of glasses and a pair of blue headphones. Lastly, the fourth is a little girl with short gray hair in small pigtails with 2 yellow beads binding her hair and yellow eyes that is close to gold. She wore a one-piece pinkish-red dress coat over the white frilly uniform buttoned in golden buttons with a checkered cravat securing the neck collar. The ends of the dress adorned with checkered frills of red and green. White lines outlining the sleeves and white frills in the lowermost part of the dress just above her bare knees. The same design tightening around her wrists, acting like a bracelet, was a cloth secured in a pink ribbon. Pure white knee-highs, sewed in red threads with ribbons on the outermost sides, hugged her lower legs down to her feet, where clear, reddish-brown school shoes fitted. The same checkered pattern in a form of a ribbon topped the shoes. On her back is a pink Randos-sided leather backpack, completing the outfit of the elementary schoolgirl. "What's up, fuck-ass?" the androgynous boy said as Fucase glared at him. He snickers, but the older girl hits him on the head. "Pico, stop using curse words around Yuki. She already knows enough. We don't want her to learn more," she said as she looked to see the older man covering the little girl's ears. The now-named Pico just rubbed the back of his head sheepishly and said, Sorry. Izuku then used this as a distraction to meet with the 4. "Hey, Pico, Mickey, Kyotru. Izu ni?" The little girl called to him with a smile as he gladly returned it. "Hello to you too, Yuki," he said as he kneeled down and gave her a head pat. "How's your studies going?" "Her studies doing great, and she's one of the top students," the older male said. "You are a great teacher after all," the redhead complimented him as he has a small blush on his face while the little girl nods. Hayama-sensei have taught me multiplication, the little girl said. That's good. You better keep up with your studies, Yuki, Izuku said as the nob named Yuki nods. Good. Go to the room on the right. Eri and the others are playing there. Thanks, Izuniai. Yuki then gave her bag to her teacher and ran off to join the other children. The 5 remaining people then walked towards the living room and sits along with the others who were having their own conversation. Man, there are a lot of people here, Pico commented. Well, it's mostly the people who worked with my aunts, close friends, and you guys, Izuku said. It is a really big change to open up to someone out of the headquarters. It's getting really boring being famous. At least those who were less known have a proper life since no one is hounding them. Like seriously, I had to wear a large coat and a hat just to get here, Fukase said as slumped on the chair. Then the hat got blown away and cameras were instantly out. If it wasn't for Mayu being there, I could have been trapped for countless interviews. Speaking of Mayu, how's your relationship with her? Mickey asked. We had a rough start, but we actually made some progress, the redhead boy said as he let out a sigh of relief. Despite being too clingy, I don't really mind, and I only have my eyes on her. I just hope that she stops attacking any girl that I just want to be friends with. At least she offered her heart to you and not break it, Pico said. Hey, I'm not that stupid, Fukase retorted. But you are stupid enough to cause havoc in HQ and get punished for them, Mickey reminded him. They weren't that bad. We had to separate you from Flower because she wants to pummel you when you were focusing on a video of you showcasing the bike you bought and ran her foot as she walked out of her room, Kyotru said. I apologized. You gave Oliver a real tarantula after the actual tarantula song and told him that it was chocolate. He cried a lot that night, Pico said. I apologized to him as well and bought him his favorite snack. Most of the building had to be rebuilt because you somehow got the keys to the twins' road roller. It costed a lot, Izuku said. Okay, that I understand. But I can't really reject the idea of riding one. Yet you still rode it without even knowing how to drive one. Good thing that it was all covered up and everyone thought that it was a gas leak, Mickey said. You did much more, but you can guess that some of them were minor, but most are not tolerable, Kyotru said. Even in one of your mishaps, we had to get your aunt so she could get you in line. Fukase just groaned, while Izuku let out an awkward chuckle. Speaking of the HQ, how are the others from Utao and Sevio? The Green Eat asked. They are doing fine, a little mishap here and there, Mickey said. I still find it out amusing that Tito still keeps saying that she was a teenager when we really know how old she is, Pico said as his sister hit him hard on his shoulder. Oh, watch it. You might have broken my shoulder. Then don't talk about a woman's age, she said as she then flicked him on the forehead. The 3 men then laugh at the siblings' squabble. Watching this from a distance, Tatsumaki huffs, while Inko giggles, and All Might just has an amused smile. That brat, I wasn't done with him yet, the Green Eat's aunt said as her sister stopped giggling. Tatsu. You know how things have been in his school. Just take it easy on him already, Inko said. Well, he better not forget my birthday next year, and he better get me something for it as well. As the 2 sisters talk, Toshinori just watched on, finding the antics of his students' family and friends very entertaining. Is Nezu rubbing on him? He better check just to be sure. Back in UA, it was now Achako's turn as she looked through the box for any songs, ignoring those that weren't. Maybe some other time. Come on, Chaco, I can't wait, Mina said, bouncing in excitement. I'm looking, the zero-gravity user said as she just grabbed a random one. She looked at the title and lets out a hum. One Call Away by Charlie Puth. OMG, I remember that song. I think they still play today in YouTube. It was so beautiful, Tilda Hagakure said as she sways a bit in joy. Put it in, put it in. Mina could barely contain her excitement. All right. Uraraka then puts in the CD and pressed play. On screen, Izuku is seen sitting in front of a pink on the middle of a ballroom, wearing the suit he wore in I-Island. Tilde. So that's what he wore in I-Island, Mina said to Ijiro. Yeah, but I think that this is before that. He destroyed it during the fight, the redhead said. A shame, really. Whoever made it did a very great job, Momo commented. Meanwhile, Ochako let out a sigh as she looked at the suit that Izuku was wearing. It really looked great to him. On screen, Izuku began to play the piano for a bit before playing 3 actual songs. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. Some of the girls looked very giddy, while Mina playfully taps Uraraka with her elbow, making the brunette lightly blush. Call me, baby, if you need a friend. I just want to give you love. Come on. Reaching out to you, so take a chance. No matter where you go, know you're not alone. Izuku then stood up as he continues to sing, while a young man with black hair with a single strand of pink took over playing the piano. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. Come along with me, and don't be scared. I just want to set you free. Come on. Then out of the corner of screen, a young blonde girl in a yellow dress walked over to him as everyone immediately recognized her. You and me can make it up, anyway. For now, we can stay here for a while. 'Cause I just want to see your smile. No matter where you go, know you're not alone. The two then hold each other's hands as they began to dance. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. When you're weak, I'll be strong. I'm gonna keep holding on. Now don't you worry. It won't be long. Darling, if you feel like hope is gone, just run into my arms. The two then began to slowly sway with the beat, hands interlocked as they gaze at each other's eyes. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. I'm only one call away. The video then ended as everyone were quiet a bit till Kaminari stood up and pointed at the screen. Wasn't that Kagami Rin? The blonde yelled out in shock. We can see that you rip off Pikachu, Bakugo yelled at him in annoyance. But what was that? Did they have a relationship or something? Zero asked. Maybe they broke up and he now has flower, Kyoka said. That's a possibility, or he is in relationship with both, Momo said as everyone looked at her, shocked. How did you get into that conclusion? It sounds weird, Kirishima said. And wrong. It is illegal here in Japan to practice polygamy, Ida pointed out. Not really, Momo said. What do you mean? Kyoka asked as she and everyone else were now confused. It was illegal, but the rise of quirks also brought quirks that can affect the person's or their target's affection, Momo said with a straight face. Polygamy is legal, but there are clauses that would prevent abuse and anything malicious. So it is possible for him to practice it as long that they won't go over the line, or they would be imprisoned by the law. So anyone can have a harem? Denki asked. Yes, as long agreed in this type of relationship agreed to it, and can't be forcefully joined. That's one of the clauses, so people with mind control might be suspected, unless they prove that they didn't use it. If not, then they have to be sent away in prison for a very long time, or pay a very large fine. Well, you heard her, so don't even try it jamming, yay, Kyoka warned the electrification user as he looked down, depressed. You still use that damn nickname? Denki whined. It was so degrading. You too, Minta. I know that you are thinking about it as well. She then shouted at Minta, clearly knowing what he was thinking along with everybody else. Hey, anybody can dream, Minta retorted. Yeah, and the chance for that dream to become reality is 0. Mainta then joined Kaminari with sulking. Okay, my turn then, Shiro said as he went to the box and began looking through it, till he immediately got one with a smile on his face. Sweet, Counting Stars by Owner Republic. This is a good one. Put it in then, Mina said as he chuckles. Hanta then put the CD in the player, then pressed play. On screen, Izuku and Flower are yet again shown with the same two people, the class recognizing one of them as the black-haired kid from the last video. Soon, they began to play and Izuku began to sing. Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said. No more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah, we'll be counting stars. I see this life like a swinging vine. Swing my heart across the line. And in my face is flashing signs. Seek it out, and ye shall find. Old, but I'm not that old. Young, but I'm not that bold. And I don't think the world is sold on just doing what we're told. I feel something so right, doing the wrong thing. And I feel something so wrong, doing the right thing. I couldn't lie. Everything that kills me makes me feel alive. Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said, no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said, no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah. I feel your love, and I feel it burn. Down this river, every turn. Hope is our four-letter word. Make that money, watch it burn. Old, but I'm not that old. Young, but I'm not that bold. And I don't think the world is sold on just doing what we're told. And I feel something so wrong, doing the right thing. I couldn't lie. Everything that drowns me makes me want to fly. Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said, no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said, no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Oh, take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I've learned. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I've learned. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I've learned. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I've learned. Everything that kills me makes me feel alive. Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said, no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said, no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I've learned. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I've learned. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I've learned. Take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I've learned. The four then did their pose, ending the video. Some of the class began to give out a round of applause as soon it finishes. Still a stunning performance, Momo commented. So who's next? Kyoka asked. Everyone look at each other till Shiro picked up the box and puts it on Todoroki's lap. The bicolor teen looked quite surprised, not knowing what to do. Well, look around and pick one, Toru said as Shoto looked at her, then back to the box. The half-hot, half-cold user then rummaged through the box, looking at each CD in it till he finally got something that interested him. He picked it up and looked at it. He hums a bit before placing the CD in the player. What did you pick? Ochako asked. Why do I set it off? It has Hatsune Miku in it, Todoroki said as he hit play. On the screen, it then showed the teal-haired girl from before. Since she currently idle, they could see what she looks like. Her outfit consists of a collared gray shirt with a small teal frill around the hem. She also has a teal-colored tie, matching her eyes and hair. Along with that, she also has a short black skirt with a teal part at the bottom all around. A pair of futuristic ribbons that somehow floats around the base of her twin tails. A pair of detached sleeves that resembles synthesizers, black stockings, and a pair of black shoes with teal soles. Along with her is Izuku, who has a guitar, while Flower has a bass guitar. The two other with them has a guitar and a drum. Along with them, another person is with them, a young man. The young man has dirty blonde hair and green eyes. He wears a white t-shirt under a jean jacket, a pair of blue jeans, and a pair of orange sneakers. The song began to play as the melody could be heard, and the two began to sing. Sometimes I write you letters that you'll never read. When I get to drinkin', I get to thinkin'. I wish you were thinking about me, why do I? Sometimes I look for girls that look the way you do. So fucking stupid, started to do it. When I saw you with someone new, why do I? It's been 10 months and 20 days. I'm the last thing that's on your brain. So why do I still wake up, 2 in the morning? Cold sweat, screaming your name? Why do I get drunk and look at your pictures? Why do I feel this way? Why do I do this to myself? And why do I even try? You don't? You don't. So baby, why do I? Why do I? Why do I? Oh. Some nights, I think about the last time that we talked. Back in November, maybe December. All I remember is that you called me a piece of shit. Said you never want to see my face again. You regret everything we ever did. You're obviously over it, so over it. So why do I still wake up, 2 in the morning? Cold sweat, screaming your name. Why do I get drunk and look at your pictures? Why do I feel this way? Why do I do this to myself? And why do I even try? You don't. You don't. So baby, why do I? Why do I? Why do I? It's been 10 months and 20 days. I've been wondering the same damn things. So why do I still wake up, 2 in the morning? Cold sweat, screaming your name? Why do I get drunk and look at your pictures? Why do I feel this way? Why do I do this to myself? And why do I even try? You don't? You don't. So baby, why do I? Why do I? Why do I? You don't? You don't. So baby, why do I? You don't. You don't. Why do I? Why do I? You don't? You don't. So baby, why do I? Miku and the guy gave each other a high five as the others gathered around them before facing the camera. They did their pose and the video ended. The class were yet again impressed. While Bakugo is still mad at the Verdant hero, he began to admit that Deku is a good singer. Along with Izuku, the others were wondering who are the rest in the video. Most of all, in Denki and Mainta's mind, does he have a harem? Back in the Class 1A's dormitory living room, most of the students were still sitting by the television with Izuku's box. All right, who's next? Denki asked. How about our class president? Siro said as everyone looked at Tenya. Come on dude, just one. Yeah, there might be one that you might like. We'll let you do this once. Come on, pick one. His classmates then began to pressure him till he finally relents. Fine, but just this once only, Ida said as he then grabbed the box and began to look through it. Some of his classmates looked as if they won, but he added, Since you forced me, then it's a proper punishment that you will clean the dishes for 2 weeks. Those who pressured him, Denki, Mina, Kirishima, and Toru, were now stiffed in fear. The first 3 paled, while Toru was shivering in fear. Tenya then continued to look through the box, till he found a CD that interested him. Enemy by Imagine Dragons, he mutters as he then put the CD in the player and pressed play. Then appearing on screen is Izuku and his friends. Izuku was holding a mic while one of his friend, a young man with black hair and a red cap, stands beside him while the others are in the background with their instruments. Look out for yourself. I wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that are told, when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. Tell you you're the greatest. But once you turn, they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Look out for yourself. My enemy, look. Look out for yourself. But I'm ready. Your words up on the wall as you're praying for my fall. And the laughter in the halls and the names that I've been called. I stack it in my mind, and I'm waiting for the time when I show you what it's like to be words spit in a mic. Tell you you're the greatest. But once you turn, they hate us, huh? Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Look out for yourself. My enemy, look out for yourself. Look. Okay? I'm hoping that somebody pray for me. I'm praying that somebody hope for me. I'm staying where nobody supposed to be. PP posted. Being a wreck of emotions. Ready to go whenever. Just let me know. The road is long, so put the pedal into the floor. The enemy on my trail. My energy unavailable. I'm not telling haste Lugo. They want to plot on my trot to the top. I've been out of shape, thinking out the box. I'm an astronaut. I blasted off the planet rock to cause catastrophe. And it matters more because I had it not. Had I thought about wreaking havoc on an opposition. Kinda shocking they wanted static with precision. I'm automatic. Quarterback, I ain't talking sacking. Pack it up. I don't panic. Batter up. Who the baddest? It don't matter cause we at your throat. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Pray it away, I swear. I'll never be a saint, no way. My enemy. Pray it away, I swear. I'll never be a saint. Look out for yourself. They then did their pose as the video ended. The class then let out a small round of applause as Tsu grabbed the box to pick the next song. While she does so, the others took a break. Ochako is poking on the leftover lasagna that she got for herself with a down look on her face as she let out a sigh. Anything wrong, Uraraka? Momo asked. Well, I think it's about Greenie already having someone or two. Mina in a teasing manner as Ochako blushes red. Are you jealous? Kyoka asked Ochako as she began to stammer. It's kinda obvious, Uraraka, Tsu said as she was still looking through the box. The zero-gravity user deflates a bit. It's just. How can I respond to this? She asked. Well, if Greenie comes back then talk with him, Mina said. But I haven't told him about feelings yet, Uraraka said. Then woman up and tell him Izuku I love you, Mina said as she just couldn't help herself. She won't just be able to see of her favorite ships ever since the beginning of their school life here in UA, but also help her friend overcome this. Ochako then looked like she regained her vigor and said, You're right. I'll tell him when he gets back. Then she fell down again. But what if he didn't accept it? This is Midoriya that we are talking. He wouldn't just break someone's on purpose, Ashido assured her. She then moved closer. And I bet that flower won't mind if she hears your reason along with Rin if Yaomomo is right. I don't think so, she said with less confidence. All right, got one, Tsu said as everyone went back to their seats. Tsu then placed the CD in the player and grabbed the remote. What did you pick? Toru asked. Angel with a shotgun by the cab, Tsu said as she pressed play. Izuku then appeared on the screen with a mic in hand with the room completely dark, except for one light shining down on him. Then the music came and a choir could be heard as Izuku began to sing. I'm an angel with a shotgun, shotgun, shotgun. An angel with a shotgun, shotgun, shotgun. Get out your guns, battle's begun. Are you a saint or a sinner? If love's a fight, then I shall die. With my heart on a trigger. They say before you start a war, you better know what you're fighting for. Well, baby, you are all that I adore. Ochako's heart seemed to beat after hearing that part as she clutches her chest. If love is what you need, a soldier I will be. I'm an angel with a shotgun, fighting till the war's won. I don't care if heaven won't take me back. I'll throw away my faith, babe, just to keep you safe. Don't you know you're everything I have? And I want to live, not just survive, tonight. Sometimes to win, you've got to sin. Don't mean I'm not a believer. And Major Tom will sing along. Yeah, they still say I'm a dreamer. They say before you start a war, you better know what you're fighting for. Well, baby, you are all that I adore. If love is what you need, a soldier I will be. I'm an angel with a shotgun, fighting till the war's won. I don't care if heaven won't take me back. I'll throw away my faith, babe, just to keep you safe. Don't you know you're everything I have? And I want to live, not just survive, tonight. Oh, oh, whoa, whoa, oh, whoa. Oh, oh, whoa, whoa, oh, whoa. Oh, oh, whoa, whoa, oh, whoa. I'm an angel with a shotgun, yeah. Oh, oh, whoa, whoa, oh, whoa. I'm an angel with a shotgun, yeah. Oh, oh, whoa, whoa, oh, whoa. I'm an angel with a shotgun, fighting till the war's won. I don't care if heaven won't take me back. I'm an angel with a shotgun, fighting till the war's won. I don't care if heaven won't take me back. I'll throw away my faith, babe, just to keep you safe. Don't you know you're everything I have? I'm an angel with a shotgun, and I want to live, not just survive, tonight. Live, not just survive. And I'm gonna hide my wings tonight. They say before you start a war, you better know what you're fighting for. Well, baby, you are all that I adore. If love is what you need, a soldier I will be. Izuku then strikes a pose as the video ended. As it did, Ochako let out a sigh of relief as she slumps on the couch, while some of the class nods to show their appreciation of their classmates' performance. May I have a turn? Momo asked as Tsu gave her the box, and the rich girl began to look through the box for a song. So who is going after Ye Momo? Gyro asked. I want to choose next. Minta suddenly shouted as Tsu immediately slapped him with her tongue. I don't think so. You'll probably choose something that fits your taste, and we know what you like, Gyro said in annoyance as everyone agreed with her. It is better if someone watches you choose, so you won't choose anything that involves Midoriya's privacy, Momo said as she keeps looking through the box. Let me take responsibility, Ida said. You're hired then, Kyoka said with a cheeky smile as Minta grumbles under his breath. All right, got one, Momo said as she held a CD. What's the title? Zero asked. It's actually one of my favorites. I Love You, Momo said. Play it, Toru said in excitement as Momo set the CD in and press played. The beat began to play as it shows Izuku and Rin as children with a blonde boy with them as they play in a park. Rin looking at Izuku in wonder. It then transitioned to them in the age of 10, as they stood by a river, as the three of them sat by the banks with Rin, looking at Izuku very nervously. Then the song began. Ni, Chado Ramen 2. Isagashai Nara, Gomen. Sakoshi Dake, Ni, Sakoshi de Roman 2. Ashaburi Nai Tsukiyat. Daoshuka, Nani Shiuka. Edo, Jimo Demo Suru. Rin wanted to ask Izuku, but she began to stutter. Shitori Shio. Shiratori Rin. Rin then gave up as she curls up in embarrassment. Gomen ni, Tsuzukanai ni. It then transitioned to them in the park again, as Rin showed Izuku some snacks and drinks. Onaka Sukanai. Nani ka tabatai? Ito. Atashi Mizu de Roman Tuya. Out of embarrassment, She offered a juice box, and Izuku still appreciated the gesture and thanked her, making Rin blush. Kimi Minita Kara, Mio Hanashida. Suki nai Hishi nai Shimarito. It then transitioned to Izuku's house, as they watched something on TV with the blonde separating both Izuku and Rin, while Rin gives the green-eat side glances. Sor na no nai baka mitsumura tara. She then blushes and looked down as she was just confused. Nodo ga kawait ko denai. Puha dausha. Ano ni, jitsu wani. Dame da, yapari kawai no. It then transitioned to them in the age of 12, as both Izuku and Rin were in the park again, but in their school uniforms. Rin was giving Izuku some side glances, while thinking of something to start a conversation with. Kamachi tsuritai yo anadanai. Kono kamachi daushiite kurishii now. She opened her mouth, and immediately closed it due to her shyness. Ni, chado roman 2. Isagashai nara, gomen. Sakoshi dake, ni, Sakoshi de roman 2. Ashaburi night Tsukiyat. She then started a conversation, but it was pretty quick. Daoshuka? Nani shiuka? Edo. Sorya, ya jankinshu. Jankinpon, Eiko deso. Rin then looked down in embarrassment as she failed yet again. Gomen ni, Sumaranai ni? The two would then walk through the city in the night in silence, till they stopped by a ramen shop, and she asked Izuku if he wants some, and he agreed. Onaka sukanai? Nani ka tabatai? Ito. Atashi mizuda roman tuya. As they eat, Rin continues to give Izuku some glances, as the feelings in her heart really want to be let out, but she was too scared to be open about it. Ano ni, Takoro de, Tautatsu Dakido. Okashiit Amatara Gomen. Bikirizaru Kamashiranai no. Demone, Kiate Hashai, Ito. They were then walking in the streets again. As they look around. Puha, Daoshu. Ano ni, Jitsu wani. Rin suddenly trips. Izuku immediately caught her. But this also resulted to them going completely embarrassed, as they stood straight and look away with blushes in their faces. Dame da de, yapari kawai no. They were then some shown in the age of 14, as both Izuku and Rin sat by the beach. Kamachi tsuditai yo anadanai. Kono kamachi daoshiite kurishii no. Rin continues to give Izuku side glances, as she felt her heart being squeezed. Ano ni, jitsu wa. Ata, atashi, ono. She opened her mouth, but immediately closed it. Her heart continues to have that squeezing feeling. Ano ni, anata ga, atashi, gomen, mat. Ata, atashi. She then tried to get his attention by poking him, but she stopped midway and looked down in embarrassment. Her heart seems to be straining from the squeezing. Ata, atashi, ono ni. Anata ga, su. She then tried to reach out with her hand, but immediately stopped. The straining continues to feel tighter. Ano ni, jitsu wa no sono, atashi, ata. Atashi, ono ni. Anata ga, Her heart continues to be squeezed harder. Atashi, gomen, mat, ono ni. Ito, atashi. And harder. Anata no kodo ga. And harder. Ano ni, atashi anata no kodo. Ano ni, atashi anata no kodo. Atashi wa anata ga. And harder. Suzu. Then it feels constricting. Gomen, wasarit. Izuku was about to leave when Rin grabbed onto him. Mat. She began to stutter as Izuku felt awkward. Suzu. The feeling continues to strain harder. Suzu. And harder. Suzu. Till she finally let it out. Suki, Daisuki. As she says that, the two look at each other for a moment before they blushed bright like a Christmas tree. But Rin had enough of being scared, so she took a much larger step. Their faces were now a few inches from each other, and Rin gave Izuku a kiss on the lips. Cue Mina and Toru squealing in excitement, while Ochako looked at this in jealousy and shame. As she did so, Rin quickly walked away, as it was a bit too much for her. While Izuku stood there in shock as he touches his lips and was clearly confused. The video then ended. "That was adorable," Toru squealed. "This video made the song even better," Momo commented. "I gotta admit, that was cute," Zero admitted, as everyone, except Bakugo, agreed with him. "What's next? What's next?" Mina said in anticipation. "I think that's enough for now. It's nearing lunchtime," Tenya said as everyone looked at the clock and realized that it has near 12 o'clock. "After that we continue." Everyone then went to get some lunch. Some stayed, while others went outside to eat. As they did so, they couldn't wait to come back and listen to more. Izuku is currently on the phone of his aunt's place. "Yeah, I will come back tomorrow morning," he said through the phone. "All right, thanks Ada. Just don't let this happen again, please. It's embarrassing enough that my sister come to get me. I don't want everyone to mess with my stuff." "All right, thanks." He then set the phone down and went back to the couch with Fukase, Flower, Pico, and 5 others. One of them was the boy with dirty blonde hair. The first 2 were a set of twins. The first one is a girl with beautiful blue eyes, short blonde hair with multiple hairpins on her bangs, and a white bow on her head. On her left shoulder is a code number that reads 02. The girl wears a white tank top with a small yellow G clef on it, along with a black sailor collar, ornated with yellow, and a yellow bow under the collar. A pair of black shorts that only reaches to her upper thighs. A yellow and orange belt with a zigzag pattern holding up her shorts. A pair of black detached sleeves that ornated with yellow. Detached pant legs that matches the sleeves, but has a speaker-like design on it. A pair of white shoes with yellow soles, and a pair of white headphones. Then the second one is a boy with bright blue eyes and short, messy, yellow hair that is tied into a small ponytail on the back. He has the same code number on his shoulder like the girl, and his hair nearly resembles a bundle of bananas. He wears a white shirt with a small yellow F clef on it, along with the same black sailor collar as the girl, and an orange tie. He also wears a pair of loose black shorts that reaches his knees with orange stripes on each leg. The difference ended there, as he shares the same detached sleeves, the same detached pant legs, the same white shoes, and the same white headphones. The third is a younger boy with blonde hair that looked very soft and fluffy, and his large yellow eyes shone with innocence. Yet there is some maturity within them. He wears a loose-fitting white buttoned-up shirt with a small stand-up collar over an open blue buttoned-up coat with yellow trims, and a small cloak around his shoulders with a dal segno on it. It looks really close to those worn by choir boys. Lastly, he wears a pair of black shorts with yellow trims, a sailor hat, and no footwear. For accessories and necessity, he has bandages wrapped around his left eye, on his right knee, and on the right ankle. Then the last one is a skinny, slender teen with a dark shade of cyan hair, slightly tan skin, and brown eyes with 2 distinctive lightning bolt-like markings underneath each one. He wears a blue-colored shirt with short sleeves and white trim, a black undershirt, darker blue jeans, a red and white hat, black fingerless gloves with red borders, and red high-top sneakers. "So everything is good now?" Pico asked. "Yeah, I kinda understand Ka-chan, but I really didn't expect the others to indulge in it. But I did feel sorry that Ida had to be dragged into this, because nobody will listen to him," Izuku said. "Well, it is inevitable ever since Gumi went to your dorms, and I don't fault her for that due to your aunt," Fukase said. "Anyways, what do you guys want to do when we go back home?" the older blonde boy asked. "We could continue on our modded Minecraft world. I wanted to try the new things added in the Create mod," Pico said. "We could just focus on the assignments we have," Flower said. "How about we eat on that well-known ramen store again?" the black-haired team said. "TF2, Fucase said. No, the others immediately denied Fucase's request. Oh, you guys are just wusses. We just know that you will be on the opposite team as a spy, so no way, Flower said in annoyance. Not to mention you tricking us by acting that we killed you. But you actually used the dead ringer, kill us, then laugh on our faces, the older blonde boy said as the younger blonde sniffles. Why do you always go at me first? The young boy said. Because you're sometimes gullible, Oliver, Fucase said to the now named Oliver. How about? You guys can come with me back at school, Izuku said as everyone looked at him. Are you sure? The blonde girl asked. Well, not really. It just popped up on my head. Since the others already know, I better tell them before they search for something personal. I'll go, Flower said. I don't mind, but I have to tell Mickey, or she would have my head, Pico said. I need to ask my parents first, Oliver said. Definitely have to ask Mako first, the blonde boy said to the blonde girl. Yeah, the blonde girl said. I can go by myself, but I do still need to ask my mom, the cap-wearing teen said. I can ask, but I don't know if I am needed for the bathhouse, the dirty blonde teen said. I don't need permission, even from my own aunt. Like that hag can do anything, Fucase said as everyone looked behind him. BRR. Dude, Pico said. While she can catch me on the minor things, but nothing on the major ones, especially what I did to her. I have done a lot of things to her, and she doesn't know, like how I replaced her favorite French bread with those cheaply made ones in a small town. BRRRRR. Getting rats in her room when she was sleeping. BRRRRRRRRRR. Then giving her a fake ticket to Norway that is actually a ticket to Greenland. BRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRRR smile on his face. Dude, look behind you, Pico said as the redhead and eyebrow and looked behind him. His smug look quickly turned to a look of horror. Standing behind him is a young woman with red hair with drill locks on both sides and an ahoji, blood-red eyes, and on her left shoulder is a code number that reads Z401. She wears a purple headphones with a red illumination, a dark gray outfit with red trimmings and highlights. A side chain is fastened inside her skirt. Brrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr spun rapidly like actual drills. Fucase, she said with a very angry tone as her drills continues to spin. Wings grew out of her back, and the chain unfastened itself to reveal that it was actually a tail. Fucase let out a nervous laugh and said, Hey Aunt Tito. Asterisk Cassane Tito quirk. Chimera asterisk. Asterisk, she is a chimera. More specifically, her entire body is human. She has bat wings on her back and a tail that is thin like a belt. She also has increased strength and stamina. But due to this, her aging slows down a lot as she is in her 30s. But she has the body of a 15-year-old. The now named Tito then suddenly grabbed him by his collar and said, So, what did you say? Fucase didn't say anything as she dragged him outside. Seconds later, the two could hear a scuffle outside with Fucase clearly losing as he screams for help. No one tried to save him. Back in UA, everyone eventually come back to watch more songs. All right, who's next? Zero asks. Me, Minta shouted as the girls grumbles. All right, fine. Kyoka then looked at Ida. Keep an eye on him. I already promised you before. There is no need for a reminder, Tenya said as he sat beside Minoru, who already got in the box and was grumbling under his breath. All right here, Minta said as he gave their class president the CD of his choice. All right, let's see. Tenya then grabbed the CD and looked at it. Say So by Dojo Cat. Cover by Gumi. Everyone then looked at Minta. What? It's a good song, Minta said. Yeah, I can agree with that. The song is good, great even, Denki said. I might regret this, But I agree with these idiots, Kyoka said as both Kaminari and Minoru did a fist bump. Well, let's play it then. Ida then set the CD in and pressed play. Then appearing on screen, Gumi is standing by a beach with a mic in hand. Then a smooth beat began to play as the green eat began to sing. Day to night to morning. Keep with me in the moment. I'd let you had I known it. Why don't you say so? Oh yeah, Minta said as he and Denki snapped their fingers to the beat, while the others were entranced by Gumi's beautiful voice. Didn't even notice. No punches left to roll with. You got to keep me focused. You want it, say so. Day to night to morning. Keep with me in the moment. I'd let you had I known it. Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice. No punches left to roll with. You got to keep me focused. You want it, say so. It's been a long time since you fell in love. You ain't coming out your shell. You really ain't been yourself. Tell me what must I do, oh, tell me, love. 'Cause luckily I'm good at reading. I wouldn't bug him. But he won't stop cheesing. And we can dance all day around it. If you front, then I'll be bouncing. If you want it, scream and shout it, babe. Before I leave you dry. Day to night to morning. Keep with me in the moment. I'd let you had I known it. Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice. No punches left to roll with. You got to keep me focused. You want it, say so. Day to night to morning. Keep with me in the moment. I'd let you had I known it. Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice. No punches left to roll with. You got to keep me focused. You want it, say so, yeah. Let me check my chest. My breath right quick, huh? He ain't never seen it in a dress like this, He ain't never even been impressed like this. Probably why I got him quiet on the set like Zip. Like it, love it, need it bad. Take it, own it, steal it, fast. Boy, stop playing, come and dance. Why you actin' like you shy? Shut it, save it, keep it, pushin'. Why you beating round the bush? And knowing you want all this woman. Never knock it till you tried, yo, yeah. All of these ladies hating I have you with me. All of my friends saying you mad committed. Realer than anybody you had, and pretty. All of that body oddy, any minute. Day to night to morning. Keep with me in the moment. I'd let you had I known it. Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice. No punches left to roll with. You got to keep me focused. You want it, say so. Day to night to morning. Keep with me in the moment. I'd let you had I known it. Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice. No punches left to roll with. You got to keep me focused. You want it, say so. Oh yeah, ha. Oh yeah, ha. Day to night to morning. Keep with me in the moment. I'd let you had I known it. Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice. No punches left to roll with. You got to keep me focused. You want it, say so. Gumi then watches the sun beginning to set before the song finally ended. The entire class began to applause at another song. Now that was some smooth singing, Minta said. It's not that bad. The original is still graded. Just have colorful choice of words, Kyoka said. Oh yeah, I forgot that there are those words in the original, Shiro said as everyone winced, knowing what they meant. Alrighty, who's next? Mina asked. I think it's Bakugo's turn, Tsu said. Just give me the fucking box, Katsuki said as he grabbed the box and began looking. While he does that, the others are now talking with each other. Like wow, Gumi's voice is still heaven, Denki said. And it will always be, Shiro said. Yeah, now shut the fuck up, I'm looking here, Bakugo said as he keeps looking through the box. Sheesh, calm down Bakubro, Kirishima said. Anyway, I've been thinking. Do you think the teachers began to notice us staying in the dorms more than usual? Maybe, but I hope not, Mina said. Not to hope what? The entire group then jumps as they look behind them to see their teacher, Shoto Aizawa, glaring at them. What are all of you doing? Aizawa said as the group looked at each other nervously. Then he saw the box and let out a sigh. So you found the box. The group then looked at each other in shock, then back to their teacher. How did you know about the box, sensei? Ochako asked. Believed it or not, a cousin of mine married one of the problem child's aunts, which technically makes him my nephew, and I learn about the box from them, Aizawa explained as the group were even more shocked. Can you tell us more about it? Toru asked as their teacher then glared at them, making the group flinched. That is not my place to tell, his gaze then softened. But I will tell you that there are much older songs that they did and own somewhere else. The students just look at their teacher in amazement when Bakugo finally has a CD in hand. Hear and fucking play it? Katsuki said as he gives the CD to Momo. Oh, Finish Line by Skillet, the rich girl said. All right, more rock, Siro said with enthusiasm. Play it, Kirishima said with a wide grin on his face as Momo put the CD on the player and pressed play. Appearing on screen, Izuku is playing the drums, Fukase playing the guitar, Flower playing the bass, and the teen with the cap stood in the middle with a mic. Ready, Ash? Izuku asked the cap-wearing teen. You know I'm ready. Hit it. They then began to play as they began to set up the beat. The sound of the guitars and drums began to increase. Some of the class began to bob their head and tap their feet due to the intro. As the anticipation began to rise, Ash began to sing. Good evening, my people up in the chandeliers. The whining and dining, the menu is blood, sweat and tears. Everybody ready, raining down confetti. Champions are born right now. Ain't about the glamour, click goes the hammer. Run when you hear that sound. Heroes never die. Gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive. Even if we crawl to the finish line. I won't believe it. Underdog dreamin'. Don't need no cheers, world's gonna see it. Heroes never die. Gonna make it to the finish line. Woo! Kirishima, Denki, and Siro cheers as the beat began tonplay before Ash returns to singing. Their dreams just keep dripping out of their golden cups. I'm starving, leftovers ain't enough. Ain't about the royals, they do nothing for ya. All you got is you right now. Who is gonna falter? Who is gonna conquer? Better never count me out. Heroes never die. Gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive. Even if we crawl to the finish line. I won't believe it, underdog dreamin'. Don't need no cheers, world's gonna see it. Heroes never die. Gonna make it to the finish line. Gonna make it to the finish line. Every day. Gonna make it to the finish line. Gonna make it to the finish line. Every day. Gonna make it to the finish line. Heroes never die. Gonna make it to the finish line. We know we survive. Even if we crawl to the finish line. I won't believe it, underdog dreamin'. Don't need no cheers, world's gonna see it. Heroes never die. Gonna make it to the finish line. Izuku, Fukase, and Flower continues to play as Ash hums. Then they reach the end, and they struck a pose. Some of the students then gave a round applause, while the rest and Aizawa just watches. Then their teacher stood up. I think that is enough for now, he said as his students look at him. What, why? Denki asked. Well, the problem child and his friends are coming here tomorrow. You might as well get this place ready while I tell Nezu about this. Aizawa as he was now walking away. Can we at least listen to one more song before we do that? Hagakure asked as their teacher stopped for a moment, grumbling. Fine, but you better not laze around. If you ever meet his entire family, you'll learn why you shouldn't mess with them. Aizawa said before going, shivering along the way which the student didn't notice. All right, one last song, then we prepare the place for tomorrow, Ida said. All right, give me the box. It's my turn again, Kirishima said as he was given the box. He rummaged through the thing for a bit when he grabbed a disc, and a smile of content appeared on his face. He then looked at Momo and gave it to her. This one. All right, let's see. Momo then looked at the CD and a smile also appeared on his face. Would Anyone Care by Citizen Soldier. The most of the class also smiled at hearing this, as they waited in anticipation. Momo then placed the CD on the player and pressed play. Then appearing on the screen is Izuku sitting in front of a piano, as he plays it and began to sing. Would anyone notice? If tonight I disappeared, would anyone chase me and say the words that I need to hear? That I'm no burden, not so worthless, bent so much that I just might break. The students listened closely as they remembered their own struggles during their youth, the pain they felt and the tears they shed. All consuming, so confusing. The questions that keep me awake. Would anyone care? Would anyone cry? If I finally stepped off of this ledge tonight, would anything change? Would you all be just fine? 'Cause I need a reason to not throw the fight. It just might save my life. Would anyone want me? If they knew what was inside my head, would anyone see me? For the person that I really am, I won't lie. So hard to hide. I've never felt worthy of love. I would give up everything I have just to feel good enough. Would anyone care? Would anyone cry? If I finally stepped off of this ledge tonight, would anything change? Would you all be just fine? 'Cause I need a reason to not throw the fight. It just might save my life. If you're dying inside, sick of being alive, let me in, let me share in your pain. From my lungs through the dark, spoken straight from the heart. Let me give you a reason to stay. If you're out there still lying awake, if you're out there still wondering, would anyone care? Would anyone cry? If you finally gave up and turned out the light, the world would be changed if you left it behind. You can't be replaced. No, tonight is the night. You take back your life. Take back your life. Take back your life. Take back your life. The song then ended, but the video didn't end there. As Izuku stands up from the video, then Rin ran up to him and gave him a hug, which he gladly returned. Do you feel better? Rin asked him as a smile appeared on Izuku's face. Yeah, he said as he held her tightly. Yes, I am. Now, the video finally ended as everyone smiled at the heartwarming scene. All right, everyone, let's clean this place. Do anything other than listening to more songs. Have dinner and go to sleep, Ida said as he took the box. To make sure that no one will peek in it, I will trust Uraraka to guard it. Ochako looked shocked, then stammers. Why me? Because I trust you that you won't look to anything private about Midoriya, and I know he trusts you as well, Ida said as he gave her the box. Uraraka contemplates as the box is on her lap, but she soon put her hands on it and gave Ida a nod. All right, Yaoyorozu, call the others so we could clean up, Tenya said as Momo nods and stood up to get the rest of the class upstairs. The others who were watching quickly stood up to help clean, as they were just excited for tomorrow. Back in Izuku's aunt's apartment, Izuku and his friends decided to sleep there before going back to Ua tomorrow. Fukase and Oliver were sleeping on the couch, facing away from each other with separate pillows and blankets. Ash, the blonde boy, and the dirty blonde boy sleeping on separate 3 chairs, their own pillows and blankets. Lastly, Izuku is sleeping on the floor with Flower, and the blonde girl also having pillows but a single blanket. Then something is nudging Izuku, as he groggily opens his eyes to see Eri standing by his feet. Hey Eri, Izuku said as he sat up. Why aren't you with the others? Eri looks down shyly and said, I want to stay with you for tonight. She then looked up to Izuku. Can I? Izuku just smiles and said, Sure, we just need some room. How about between us? The two flinch a bit, as they saw that Flower was watching them. How? I know something is going on when you moved, Flower said as she then faced Eri. You can sleep between us if you like. Eri looked pretty nervous till she saw Flower crossing her arms, and Eri saw an arm sprouting out of the ground, its hand offering itself for her. Eri hesitantly grabs it before the arm leads her towards the 3 on the floor and placed her between Izuku and Flower. Eri feel a little weirded out by this, but she eventually began to like it as she began to feel sleepy and automatically hugged the verdant hair teen in her sleep. Izuku and Flower just smiled as they then hug each other with Eri between them, the three of them having smiles on their faces. The blonde girl then joined in by hugging Izuku. As they sleep peacefully, they didn't notice from far away that Gumi is watching them from the guest room with a smile on her face. She looked at her brother with a look of content before going back inside to get her own beauty sleep. Izuku and his friends finally reached Yua, with Gumi driving them there before she left to go back for their mother. The verdant hero and his friends stood before the entrance of the school with some essentials, but they also have some tag-along. Eri and Yuki were with them, with the latter having to call her parents for permission and assurance that she would be safe. And along with them is a young girl with pink hair and teal eyes. She wears a long dark teal dress, underneath a teal blouse with yellow buttons. She also wears dark teal socks, teal boots with black heels, as well as a yellow cap and gloves. She also has a small black collar around her neck. "Are you sure that you want your cousin to join us?" Pico asked as he and everyone else look at the pink-haired girl. "Well, Aunt Valerie is busy with her work and Uncle Silver is." "You know," Ash said with an awkward smile on his face as his cousin gave him a dirty look. "My family is powerful, but they aren't monsters like the media tries to portray other groups after what Overhaul did," she said as she crossed her arms. "I didn't mean it like that," Ash said with a frown. "I visit you guys every summer and love you guys a lot. It would still be a shock for everyone when they learn that your aunt married a Yakuza boss." "Yeah, it was shocking, but we got used to it," the boy with dirty blonde hair said. "But Eri did get scared after hearing that parts of your family are a part of the Yakuza. We only managed to calm her down after explaining that you guys were good people," Izuku said. "Okay, I get it. We can be bad, but we still have standards," the girl said. "I think we should get in now," Pico quickly said as everyone agreed, and they entered Yua. Students from class 1 have been cleaning their dorms, even preparing blankets and sleeping bags for their guests, if they don't prefer the couch. Most of them are excited to meet their classmates' friends, some especially wanting to know who they are. Right now, they are preparing some food after working to get the place prepared. "Do you think that they would like the food we make?" Ochako asked. "Why doubt? Bakugo is a pro in cooking and Sato makes a mean cake," Denki commented as he watched Bakugo making some stir-fry, while Sato is making a pound cake. "I just can't wait to meet them," Mina said in excitement. They then heard the door open followed by an "I'm back." Everyone quickly stopped what they were doing, before making sure that everything was turned off first, and went to look towards the door to see Izuku and his friends going inside. "Hey guys," Izuku greeted his classmates. "Midoriya, I see that you have returned," Tenya said as he looked at the people the Verdant brought along. "So these people are your friends. They even have Eri along," Hagakure squealed in excitement. "Not only her, but Yuki is also here," Tsuyu said. "Hello," Yuki greeted them, while Eri just hides behind her. Izuku just let out a nervous chuckle and said, "You already know some of them, but let me introduce them to you." He then gestured to Flower. "You guys already know Hana-chan, but you mostly know her as Flower." Flower just gave them a nod, but there is a bit of a blush on her cheeks. He then approached Fukase and Pico. "Here are Fukase and Pico." "Sup," Fukase said with his arms crossed. "Greetings," Pico said courteously. Then to Oliver. "Oliver." "Hello," Oliver greeted as a golden finch just flew inside and landed on his hat. "Oh, this is James, by the way." When Kota saw this, a smile appeared on his face. Izuku then approached the blonde twins, the Kagami twins Rin and Len. "Nice to meet you," Len greeted them, while Rin gave them a wave. "Yuki." "Hello again," Yuki said again. "And these guys," Izuku said as he went behind Ash and the dirty blonde teen, "are Ash and Hansuk." Nice to meet you, Ash greeted with a smile on his face, while tipping his cap forward. Same, Hansook went along with a wave of his hand. Ahem, the pink-haired girl gives a fake cough. Oh right, Izuku let out a nervous chuckle as he points at her, while looking towards his classmates. That's Georgia, Ash's cousin. Momo then steps forward and said, We are happy to have you here. As you can see, we have prepared everything for your visit, so we hope that you enjoy your stay here. This isn't a hotel, yay Momo. A simple greeting is good enough, Kyoka said as Momo was a bit flustered, while everyone let out some chuckles. Good you arrived. Everyone jumped a bit as they looked toward the doors to see Aizawa standing there. Nezu has been expecting you. Not surprising that he would check your files and backgrounds when we talked about your friends coming here. Hey, Izuku just let out a nervous chuckle as he rubbed the back of his head. Sensei, what does the principal want about Midoriya? Ida asked. The principal just got more interested in Midoriya's background, specifically his family. I swear his laugh will never leave my mind after he found out, Aizawa said as he mumbled the last part. So Midoriya's family is quite famous then, Todoroki assumed. You'll know sooner or later. It's just up to the problem child. Aizawa then left, and everyone then went to accommodate Izuku's friends. Putting their stuff together in one spot, assigning where they sleep, and then giving them breakfast. As they did so, Ochako brought the box downstairs, and Izuku noticed this. Why do you have my box? Izuku asked as Ochako nervously looked down. Well, Ida gave it to me. He trusted me that I would keep it safe till you come back, she said. Izuku then smiles, somehow creating a blinding light, and said, Well, thanks. His classmates and friends have to rub their eyes, while Ochako blushes. Damn, that is still so bright, Fukase said as he blinked multiple times. Again, that smile could be weaponized, Pico said. Hey, I have a question, Mina said as Izuku looked at her. Sure, Izuku said. Is Rin also your girlfriend? Mina asked as everyone looked at her. Some were appalled while others were neutral. But both Izuku and Rin were blushing, while Flower maintained a neutral look. Ashido. It is not right to ask something very personal, Tenya scolded the acid user. But come on. We did see Midoriya dance with Rin. I just want to know. Yeah, they do, Fukase blurted out as everyone looked at him. Dude. Pico yelled at the redhead in anger as he punched him on the shoulder hard, causing Fukase to yelp in pain, then glared at Pico. Both Mina and Toru just gave out loud squeals at the news. You have to tell us more, Toru said in excitement, but Ojiro held her back. Let's get them used to the place before asking, the martial artist said as Izuku let out a sigh of relief. So how about a tour of the school then? Denki suggested. Sure, that sounds exciting, Ash said. It would be nice to see what Yua has in store, Hansook said. Then it's decided then, Len said with a smile, which the others followed. I guess a tour wouldn't be bad, Izuku said as he and his chosen classmates gave his friends a tour. Along with Izuku, Ida, Ochako, Momo, Kyoka, and Todoroki gave the gang a tour. They first went to Class 1A's classroom, while the older kids just roam around. Iri and Yuki were running around, deciding to play a game of tag in the room. I was expecting a lot more with a class that is focusing on creating heroes, Hansook said as he brushed his hand on one of the tables. Yeah, it's just really normal, Pico said. I did hear from my parents that their old school was like this as well, Ash said. Your parents? Todoroki asked. Yeah, my mom and dad along with my aunt came to Japan from England to study along with their friends for a year. My dad's friend, Blue, decided to stay here to continue his study, while my aunt wanted to live here, Ash said as he looked around. It's not Yua if you want to know. It's a completely different school. So your parents are heroes, Ochako asked. My dad is. My mom wanted to be a nurse, Ash said as he chuckles a bit. My dad stopped hero work for a while because he has to take care of me. But he when does go for hero work. He would always come home battered as my mom scolds him for being reckless. Well, you're no better either. Let me remind you that you saved that French girl from your class from an escaped lion, Georgia said to him. My mom heard what happened to you and the scolding you got from your mom. Ash just let out a nervous chuckle from being reminded of that incident. Let's not forget the other incidents of him saving other girls that went to study there, Fukase said with a cheeky grin, while Ash has a small blush on his face. Let's go somewhere else now, Izuku said, not wanting his friend to be embarrassed anymore. The tour then continued as they are now in Gym Gamma. So this is where you train your quirks? Len asked. It seems a little empty, Rin added. This entire place is made of concrete, so Cementos-sensei would help give us targets and even fix the area when we are finished, Tenya said. Now that sounds interesting, Hansuk said. Hey, can I try my quirk here? Ash asked as the students look at it. I don't know. Momo was a bit hesitant to accept. Oh, don't worry. It's not that destructive. My quirk is an emitter type, but I have a lot of control on it, Ash assured them. Izuku's classmates then look at the Verdant hero for confirmation. It's fine, Izuku assured them. How about us? Fukase asked. The others are fine, but you, Oliver, and Georgia are not if Cementos-sensei isn't here. While Hansuk couldn't since he does need something for his quirk to be effective, Izuku said. Fukase just grumbles, while the latter three didn't mind. All right, here we go, Ash said as he let out a deep breath. Ash then put his hands together, his eyes closed as he began to focus. Then a bright light appeared between his hands as he began to focus more. He then moved his hands away from each other as a ball of blue energy formed between them. He then slowly began to move his hands around as the ball began to change shape, eventually taking the shape of a shuriken. Izuku's classmates were amazed at the sight as Ash then threw the shuriken, which splits into 3 different shurikens. Before the shurikens hit the wall, they immediately disappeared. Ash then created more, but instead of shurikens, they are balls of the same blue energy. He threw 2 of them, and they move on their own before colliding with each other. Still got it, Ash said as he flicks his wrists. Asterisk Ash Ketchum quirk. Aura manipulation asterisk. Asterisk, he can exude his spiritual energy to form anything ranging from passive armor to homing projectiles. But he needs a lot of energy if he wants to fight longer. My turn, Pico said as he steps up in front. Pico then cracks his knuckles before letting out a deep breath and closing his eyes. A soft humming sound was then heard before sounds of clicking and whirring comes after. Izuku's classmates were now looking in amazement as Pico's body began to change, revealing that he is not of flesh, but of steel and wires. Small metal pieces that form Pico's skin moved around into their designated positions, revealing complex wiring and metal rods. His feet open up to reveal thrusters inside them as Pico began to hover. Another pair of thrusters were revealed on the palm of his hands, now keeping Pico stable as he hovered. His back opened up to reveal complex machinery that began to take shape and eventually form wings. Lastly, a visor forms around Pico's eyes, and the decorative plug seems to retract within his dress. Is that his quirk? Kyoka asked as she looked at Pico's transformation in amazement along with the rest of the tour guide, except Izuku. No, it's not. His quirk is what is supporting his transformation, Flower said calmly as most of the students from class 1 with them looked at her. What do you mean? Momo asked. Pico is a cyborg, Flower said, shocking them. It was due to an accident that he became like this along with his sister. Their bodies were so mangled, but the doctors managed to save some of their body, and very skilled engineers that their parents had to pay to make them very strong prosthetic parts to replace the old ones that were unrecognizable. As for his quirk, Fukase said with his arms crossed. He and Mickey have somewhat similar quirks, but they have the same purpose. To power their new body, Izuku finished it. Pico then began to fly around the room at breakneck speed, his body crackling with teal energy as he zoomed around with no end. He did some back flips and a few barrel rolls for almost an hour, now then performed a somersault before landing on his feet, hero style. Pico then began to transform back, but his body seems to let out literal steam, leaving him panting in exhaustion. "Yep, I outdid myself again," Pico said as he wiped the sweat from his brow. Utatane Pico quirk. Reactor core asterisk. A rather useless passive quirk that only lets him heat his body. But after becoming a cyborg, Pico could easily power his new augmented body without being weighed down by large inconsistent batteries. But if he uses it too much, his body would burn up and needed a lot of rest and ice baths to reduce the excess heat. "Our turn then," Len said as he and Rin stepped up, while Pico returned to the group and downed a whole bottle of water, further increasing the amount of steam coming out of his body. "You good, bud?" Fukase asked. "Yeah, but I might need some ice water after this," Pico said. "That was dope," Kyoka commented. "It was a great sight to see," Momo said in agreement. "Well, thanks, but Mickey has more practice than me. She can do better," Pico said. "All right, guys, eyes on us," Len said as everyone looked at him and Rin. Both he and Rin then went to the center as they closed their eyes. Then they opened their eyes, and their entire demeanor suddenly changed. Instead of the jolly look on Len's face, he now looked calm and professional, a tired yet happy smile appearing on his face. Rin, on the other hand, instead of her peppy demeanor, she now looked arrogant and prideful, a smirk appearing on her face that just has "I don't fucking care" energy. "Finally, that little girl finally let us to have control," Rin said, but her voice was haughty and vexing. "Now, Rillian, don't insult the person that lets you take control," Len said to Rin, or rather Rillian, who crossed her arms with a snotty look on her face. "Surely you jest, Alan. When the first time we appeared on this world, I have to walk among these fools while watching those people in spandex saving the day," Rillian said as she air quoted the last part as Len, or rather Alan, just let out a tired sigh. "Let's just show our powers to our hosts," Alan said as Rillian just huffs. "Fine." Ochako was confused along with her classmates. "Deku, what is going on?" "It's the twins' quirks," Pico said as he drank another bottle of ice water. "That's quite strange for a quirk. And why are they calling themselves Rillian and Alan?" Kyoka asked. "You do know Evilius Chronicles, right?" Izuku asked them. "Oh, that series? Yeah, I see now," Gyro asked before realizing what he meant along with the rest of the students. The twins suddenly began to glow as everyone looked away for a bit, till the glow finally went away. They now see the twins having completely different looks. Rin, or rather Rillian, has her shoulder-length hair in a small ponytail held by a 4-petaled ribbon of honey and white ridges, a black rose for a hairpin and another for the tie, a detachable, honey-colored collar locked in a golden accessory, and a circular red gemstone of similar craft to the necklace she wore, wrapped around her nape. A shawl of white strewn with tiny little details attached itself to her honey-colored dress to match the color of her inner petticoat. Her honey-colored overskirt atop the layers of dresses was of baggy sleeves and baggy pleats for the white inner garments. Golden roses acted as pins and accessories as the ribbons she wore matched each. A cravat likened scarf tightened around her waist like a shawl, and further down on one side, as the folds grow smaller. The orange ribbons reminiscent of a braid decorated the slits of the outermost layer of her dress. Whatever fancy shoes decorated her feet was veiled by the laces of her outfit. Len, or rather Alan, has his hair combed down, while his small ponytail still remains on his head. Firm, squared shoulders fashioned with a golden coat with white outlines. The high, fitted collar of the pure white inner linen adorned in golden strips, veiled under a brown vest. A purplish-white cravat strung tight his neck like a collar to a slave, and to his duty. Purplish-white trousers that neatly folded upwards, 2 buttons in linear to fasten each in place. White high-knee socks hugged his legs, brown shoes that stood with silver buckles. His poise like a knight shaped in discipline, as he wore the formal Victorian-esque clothing. Kagami Rin Quirk. Alter Ego Asterisk. This gives the user a second consciousness in their body, which they let control their body for specific tasks. For Rin specifically is the daughter of evil, Rillian Lucifen Doddridge, a princess from a speculated different realm of existence. But the two have completely different personalities, so they are sometimes at each other's throats. Kagami Len Quirk. Alter Ego Asterisk. This gives the user a second consciousness in their body, which they let control their body for specific tasks. For Len specifically is the servant of evil, Alan Avadonia, the twin brother and servant to Rillian, who is also from a speculated different realm of existence. The two aren't at each other's throat like their siblings, but Len do try to break Alan from his cynicism with barely any results. Much better, Rillian said as she and Alan then summoned swords in their hands. Shall we then, my dear brother? Ready when you are, Alan said. Then, en garde. The two then clashed their blades, creating sparks in the air as they strike and parry each other. Worried, Tenya tried to intervene, but Fucase stopped. Don't worry, Four Eyes, they know what they are doing, Fucase said as Ida felt insulted at the remark, but he would trust the redhead's later words. The twins continued to clash their blades before finally ending their spar. At least the girl keeps practicing, otherwise she would have an earful from me, Rillian said as their swords then disappear. Good thing the girl is very kind, or she wouldn't be listening to you years ago, Alan said as he then looked to their audience. We better give them control. We must continue the tour that is being given to us by our hosts. Rillian just pouts and said, Do we have to? Yes. Rilliana just huffed and said, Fine. Good, Alan said as he proceeds to give Len his control over their body. Before Rillian could do so, she looked at Izuku with a smile and said, See you later then, and there better be a brioche for it. Izuku just gave her a nervous laugh and wave before Rillian began giving Rin control of their body. Kyoka then looked at the green-haired hero and said, Her too? It's kinda hard not to when she is always listening to us, Izuku admitted as he rubbed the back of his head. You were pretty much whipped when she is in control. Just be happy that she isn't a massive bitch from what we knew, Fucase said before something hits him on the head, directly on his forehead. Ah! Everyone to the throne projectile and saw that it was an orange. They looked at the twins, Rin and Len now in control, and were now in their original clothes, as the female twin flexes her hand. She said that he deserves it, Rin said before going back to the group with Len, while Fucase just grumbles as he rubs his forehead. All right, let's go to our next destination, Ochako said, as they then left Gym Gamma. Everyone were then in the cafeteria. And here's the cafeteria. But you already know what we do here, Kyoka said. Izuku then saw something, or rather someone. Oh, there's lunch rush. Everyone faced to where Izuku was looking. And there is indeed the cook hero. Ah, hello students, and I see the guests Aizawa told me are here as well, the cook said as he let out a chuckle. I also heard from him how some of you have quite an appetite. We kinda expect this, Hansuke said as the rest of the gang agreed with him. Well, you can eat here whenever you like, just don't abuse it, Lunch Rush said. We'll make sure, Flower said as she gave Fucase a look, which he returned with an annoyed one. Hey, it was an all-you-can-eat buffet, he defended himself. Which left you in the hospital after eating a lot of burgers, Pico pointed out. I swear, you should have been dead with how much you ate. I just burn a lot of calories and fat, he said. Lunch Rush just laughs at this and said, Well, how about a quick bite before you continue your tour? Well, we barely ate any breakfast, so why not? Ash said as everyone agreed. I want a muffin, Oliver quickly said. Apple pie, Yuki quickly said with Erie's eyes seemed to gleam when she heard the word apple. I could go for some ice cream, Pico said. Same, Flower said. Ice cream does sound nice, Georgia agreed. I could go for some chili, Fuke said. Some soba could be good, Hansuk said. Soba does sound good, Todoroki said. Might as well take a break, Izuku said as the rest soon joined the others for a snack break. Everyone were now on ground beta. How the fuck did they pay for this? Fuke said with his hands on his hips when Flower smacked him on the head. Yuki and Eri is still here, you know. Flower reminded him as Rin and Len were covering the children's ears. Still? What is UA's budget that they can have this? Pico asked. Izuku and classmates just out nervous chuckle as they thought of the other facilities that the school has that must have cost like millions. Now the tour continues as everyone were walking in the hallways to their next destination. So what's next? Georgia asked. How about the development studio? Ochako suggested. I heard that it's where your costumes, Yuki said in excitement. Well, we have to wait and see, Hansuk said with interest in mind. It's just one more Koronth. Izuku was about to say something when he bumped into someone. I'm sorry. Yayurazu-san. It then showed to be a girl with orange hair and teal eyes. Kendo-san, Momo said as she realized that standing in front of them is the president of Class 1B, Itsuka Kendo. Along with Kendo were her classmates Tetsu, and Yui Kodai. Yo 1A, how are you guys doing? Tetsu asked. Oh, we are just giving Midoriya's friends a tour, Momo said. Really? Who? Is that Fucase? Tetsu said as he points at the group behind the students of Class 1A. A look of shock on his face, but it didn't hide the joy behind it. There's V-Flower too, Iwu pointed out with a blank look on her face. Why are famous celebrities here? Kendo asked in shock. Well, they are Midoriya's friends along with the others with them, Ochako explained. Tetsu was then in front of Izuku, grabbing the Verdant hero on his shoulders as he began to shake him and said, Bro, that's awesome. I listened to most of their songs and they were super manly. What's your favorite? Pico asked in curiosity as Tetsu thought about it. There is a lot, but I would go for Bring It On by Rin and Len, he said. Said twins gave each other a high five with smiles on their faces. Yui then approached Flower as the two gave each other a blank stare when Kodai said, I'm a fan of your songs. Thanks, Flower said. Since introductions are done, shall we continue the tour? Tenya said. Where are you guys going next? Kendo asked. To the development studio, Izuku said. Well, if you have time, come visit our dorms, Kendo suggested. Well, sure, we don't mind. It is nearing lunch, so the development studio might be our last stop, so we could take a break. We will continue after lunch, Ash said as everyone agreed with him. All right, let's go then, Momo said as she and the tour group then left. The others will be so shocked when we explain this and see this for themselves, Tetsu said with a grin as Yui nods in agreement. All right, we are slowly approaching the development studio, Tenya said as they are now nearing their destination. So every costumes is made there? Hansuk asked. Costumes, tools, and many other things that a hero would need, Momo said. And the person who manages the room is Powerloader, Kyoka said. I'm excited to what they have in there, Hansuk said with a smile on his face. There's a lot of things in there, so whoa. Boom. Before Izuku could finish, he was immediately pulled back when the door of the development studio was blasted off its hinges due to an explosion. Thanks, Hana-chan, Izuku said as he looked back to see Flower having her hands on the back of his shirt, preventing what would be a similar incident from before. Hatsum. A shout of anger could be heard inside the now doorless room. Laying on the blasted-off door is a pink-haired girl with cross-hair pupils, wearing overalls and covered in soot. This is Mei Hatsum. Whoa, what a blast, Mei said with a grin on her face. Hatsum-san, why must you cause so much property damage again? Ida reprimanded the pink-haired support student, but she mostly ignored him and went back inside. Does this happen often? Hansuk asked. We don't know personally, but we do hear about the occasional explosion here, Ochako said. God damn it, Hatsu. Stop making everything explode. Then came into view is Power Loader. The teacher hero then saw the visitors outside. What can I help you? Oh, we are just giving a tour for our guest, Momo said as she gestured to their visitors. Which power lower look at? So this is the group that Aizawa and Nezu talked about, Power Loader asked. Yes, Power Loader sensei, Izuku said as the hero just hums. Well, if you are doing a tour here, might as well let you in, just don't touch anything dangerous, he said as he let the students and visitors in. The students then let the visitors look around the place, Piko and Hansuk clearly having some interest. These are some really fancy tech, Piko said as he held up a grappling hook. No kidding, Hansuk said as he has a piece of a costume on his hand. While they do this, Flower and Georgia were chatting. Yuki and Eri were staring on an open computer with a blueprint on it, and Ash and Oliver talking about the piece of equipment in front of them. Meanwhile, Fukase found a metal ball on one of the desks, and he grabbed it. He then felt the slight chill on the metal surface, deducting that it was an ice bomb. The redhead looked at the bomb to Piko, then back to the bomb before having a grin on his face. He then went to a baseball throw stance and shouted, Piko catch. He then threw the bomb as Piko saw the ball being thrown at him. The cyborg quickly grabbed it with his left hand. The white-haired teen then looked at what he caught when the ball opened up and began to let out a beeping out. This freaks him out as he tries to throw it away, but the bomb finally exploded and traps his entire left arm in ice. Oh, you fucker, Piko shouted in anger as Fukase began to laugh, while the cyborg tried to remove the ice that is covering his arm. Hey, what did I just say? Power Loader yelled out in annoyance. Fukase was about to make a run for it, when he was quickly restrained by multiple arms, keeping him in one place. He then looked to the right to see Flower having her arms crossed, a look of annoyance on her face. Piko then finally managed to break free by slamming the cracking ice on the metal table before letting his arm transform to further break it apart. As the job was finished, he quickly transforms it back, then looked at his redhead friend in annoyance. "Wanna do the honors?" Flower asked as Fukase began gulp when Piko began to hit his right fist onto his left palm, creating soft clanging sounds. "Gladly," Piko said as he slowly approached the trapped singer. Soon, the entire development studio was filled with screams of pain and followed by screams of protest from Piko when Mei began to realize that he was part machine. Everyone soon returned to Class 1A's dormitory to eat some lunch. "Man, this is good," Hansuk said as he was eating some curry. "You can thank our expert cooks here," Denki said as he points at Bakugo and Sato, the former scoffing while the latter just gave them a smile of appreciation. "This place is really great, but I'm not going anywhere near the development studio again," Piko said as he shivers. How did that girl even manage to pull his arm out? It was reinforced. Grumbling on his seat is Fukase as his face was bandaged and had to eat soup through a straw instead of the more delicious food on the table. "You should have seen it coming," Flower said as she also ate some curry. "Yummy," Yuki said cheerfully as she and Eri were eating one slice of strawberry pound cake each. "We couldn't wait for the tour to continue after this," Len said as his sister agreed with him. "Say, instead of going back to the tour, how about we listen to more of the songs in the box?" Mina asked as everyone looked at her. "Well, why not?" Izuku was a bit unnerved at first, but eventually agreed. "Are you sure?" Todoroki asked. "I guess, but I already see everyone really wanting to," the green-haired teen said, as those he called out let out nervous chuckles. "And it would be great to look back to some old songs," Piko said. And songs that we do together with the others, Ash said. Then it's official then, Izuku said as everyone agreed. Let's finish lunch first, Flower said as she was already finished, and everyone noticed that she only ate a single serving, while the others ate 2 or more. Are you not going to eat more? Kyoka asked. Medical reasons, Flower said as she then drank a glass of water. I'm not allowed to eat more or less than what I can eat, and I need to exercise a lot. We will keep that in mind, Tenya said, keeping a small memo of Flower's condition. Let's finish already. I am already getting excited, Oliver, as everyone then went to finish their lunch, preparing themselves for some entertainment for the students and nostalgia for Izuku and his friends. The tour will wait for now. They want to hear some more songs. After finishing their lunch, the students in Class 1A and their visitors are now sitting in front of the TV, while Ochako has the box in her hand. So who goes first? Kirishima asked. Well, since there are new people here, why not let them have a turn? Kyoka suggested. So who wants to pick the song? Ochako asked as she presents the box. I'll go, Ojiro offered to choose. Ochako then gave him the box as he began to look through the box, till he finally found something that interested him. Black and Blue Smackdown. Huh? Isn't that a song used during the pre-quirk era? The wrestling one? Zero asked. There are some old videos, but they aren't that popular anymore. The moves they did were awesome now, Pico said. Yeah, I even watched some of them, but I don't think that it's compatible with my quirk, Kirishima said. Can we watch it now, please? Oliver politely asked. Yeah, I'm already getting excited, Ash said. Well, here we go then, Ojiro said as he then put the CD on the player before pressing play. Then appearing on screen is Izuku, Flower, Fukase, Ash, and Hansuk. But instead of Izuku taking the mic, it was Hansuk. Then Fukase began to play his guitar, as the song then began. Black and Blue I Crawl Along. The wreckage of what now is gone. Back to you. To fight another day. I'll go. On and on and on and on. I'm facing a demon inside. Created with every last part of me. Their pay will begin. I'll go. On and on and on and on. All of the boys are now banging their heads to the beat, with Kyoka, Flower, and Georgia doing the same. I'm facing a demon inside. Created with every last part of me. Their pay will begin. I'll go. On and on and on and on. Black and blue I crawl to you. Black and blue I crawl to you. Black and blue I crawl along. The wreckage of what now is gone. Back to you. To fight another day. I'll go. On and on and on and on. I'm facing a demon inside. Created with every last part of me. Their pay will begin. I'll go. On and on and on and on. I'm facing a demon inside. Created with every last part of me. Their pay will begin. I'll go. On and on and on and on. Black and blue I crawl to you. Black and blue I crawl to you. The song then ended as everyone struck a pose. Awesome. Both Kirishima and Denki let out a cheer. Man, we did this like a year ago. Never really knew that this was this good, Hansuk said. Well, you were busy with helping your parents, so you really haven't had enough time to see it before we store it away, Pico said. I guess it's my turn then, Shoji said as Ojiro passed the box to him. As the Dupli Arms user looked around the box, the others decided to have a chat. So who is the first one between the two of you? Mina asked both Rin and Flower. Flower raised an eyebrow and said, What do you mean? Mina then gave them a sly smile and said, You know, did you do the thing? Everyone blushed, while Minta seems to have a bleeding nose. A combination of tongue slap from Sue and a slap from Flower knocked him out. Wah, Rin stutters in surprise. Ashido-san, you shouldn't talk something so crude, especially when there is children around, Ida scolded the pinkette. We especially don't want to tell Yuki's parents, Pico pleaded. Okay, I might have crossed a line there, but come on, One of them must have already made a move with Greenie. We will not talk about anything about that subject, Flower said with a slight blush on her face. Fukase was about to say something when he got slapped by an arm sprouting behind him. Especially from you, she said as she glared at the grumbling redhead. All right, found one, Shoji said as everyone felt relieved, especially Izuku, Rin, and Flower. Okay, can I see it? Momo asked as Shoji gave her the CD. Oh, Numb by Linkin Park. Huh. Never knew that you liked their songs, Siro said as Shoji just shrugs. Their songs are quite relatable. Momo then inserts the CD in the player, then pressed play. On screen, the band of 5 were on screen, but with Izuku back being the singer. Flower began to play her guitar, while Ash quietly plays the drums. Then the song began to speed up, as they began to play louder, and Izuku began to sing. I'm tired of being what you want me to be. Feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. Don't know what you're expecting of me. Put under the pressure of walking in your shoes. Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow. I've become so numb. I can't feel you there. Become so tired. So much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. As the song continues to play, Izuku's body began to let out sparks of electricity. Can't you see that you're smothering me? Holding too tightly, afraid to lose control. 'Cause everything that you thought I would be has fallen apart right in front of you. Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow. And every second I waste is more than I can take. The electricity around his body then grew like a raging storm, making the audience look in awe. I've become so numb. I can't feel you there. Become so tired. So much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. And I know I may end up failing too. But I know you were just like me with someone disappointed in you. I've become so numb. I can't feel you there. Become so tired. So much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. I've become so numb. I can't feel you there. I'm tired of being what you want me to be. I've become so numb. I can't feel you there. I'm tired of being what you want me to be. Izuku then stopped singing, the electricity fading away, while Flower continues to play her guitar, till the song finally ended, and everyone did a pose before the video ended. Dude, that was awesome, Denki complimented Izuku. Well, Izuku was then blushing. I did have a good teacher. We did help a bit, Rin added. Well, who's next? Sue asked. My turn then, Takoyami said as Shoji gave him the box and began looking. Dark Shadow then appeared to have a peek in the box. Hey Fumi, let me see too, Dark Shadow said as he tries to get a better view. While he looks around, the others began to chat. So why do you guys went for a singing career? Kyoka asked the members of Vocaloid. Rin and Len technically still are. We listened to Gumi when we were young, so Rin and I were inspired by her. Before you know it, Krypton hired us after some cover songs we made, Len said. With a lot of help from Lily, of course, Rin added. For me, it's due to my sister. I was depressed back then, and Mickey suggested it for me. I was then recommended by Mickey to her place of work, but they declined. They did recommend I would go to Kiyun Music Inc. Under Sony, Pico said. Then your voice back got discontinued, Fukase said. You don't have to remind me, fuck-ass, Pico said as he glares at the redhead, before looking away and grumbles with his arms crossed. Well, for me, my family really inspires me to become one, Oliver said with a smile. It is really nice to sing, especially when my mom does it. Mama's boy much? Denki asked as Oliver just gave him a pouty face. eliciting the girls to squeal and coo at the little blonde boy. Well, for me, it was my big brother ours, Fucase said as some began to snicker with him joining in. Yeah, he never lived it down. Anyway, ever since he joined Vocaloid, I want to join as well. So I have a lot of learning from him and my cousin Cull. Everyone then looked at Flower, who was just giving them a neutral look. Flower let out a sigh, then said, Fine. It's nothing really. I was just a fan that just got hooked into it. Then, you met us, Pico said with a smile as everyone looked at him. She was doing a solo performance in a cafe where she met Mako-san. She sent a video of Flower to her company, and Flower began to get a lot of requests from other companies that sees her potential. I was really surprised by it, Flower said as she took a deep breath before letting it out. I still feel nervous thinking about it. You should have seen her face when she come to where all the Vocaloids stay. Pico then began to chuckle a bit from the memory. Even now she looked cold. Everyone easily saw how nervous she is. That was even increased when Miku decided to be the one who greets her first. Flower just blushes a bit as Yuki then raised her hand. My turn, Yuki said in excitement as everyone gushes at her a bit. Miss Miki was the one who recommended me and Kyotru-sensei. She went to one of Kyotru-sensei's concerts while she saw me in a talent show. We decided to be in the same company as Miss Miki. Aw, that's cute, Mina commented, imagining Yuki singing for a talent show along with the others. Well, your vocabulary is improving, but you should also work with your grammar, Pico said as he ruffled Yuki's hair as she giggles. Got one, Dark Shadow said as Fumikage has a CD in hand. It's Dance with the Devil by Upchurch, Fumikage said as he then gave the CD to Momo. Let's play it then, she said as she put the CD in then pressed play. The TV then showed Izuku sitting by a tree with his back against the tree, while Flower sits on the opposite side doing the same as him. The melody then began to play as Izuku began to sing. Every night that I'm alone, I fall in a different zone. I am in a place, my body isn't needed anymore. I see phantoms at my window, third level of my estate. They walk on a certain level, looking at me, through a double pane. They see mine. Theirs is Jane. We both nod. We both wave. They're probably just lost, like me, but never had the time to spare. But even if we did it, probably wouldn't catch my lingo. Looking at me skeptical, like I was Johnny Ringo. It's safe to say that they don't mean no harm, though. They whisper to me, till my eyes fall inside my pillow. Put me in a natural trip, to levels of dimensions. Let me see my future, through some type of supernatural premonition. I don't want to dance with the devil. I just want to confront him at a table. And I don't need your hollow promise. I just need to look you in the eyes and tell you that. You didn't help me make it. The two began to sway go the beat as they have their eyes closed. You didn't help me make it. You didn't help me make it. You didn't help me make it. Flower then opened her eyes as she continues the song. The devil, he wears a scarf, full of fake happiness and promises. He says he calls your city, like things of gold and accomplishments. But I've been reading documents that say your words are counterfeit. Get a lesson in myself, with no reason to be announcing it. Times have changed. I've stepped away from the deception of the man that's looking over Broadway. I know the power of myself, so I'm taking full percentage. While they sleepin' on me, I'm sleeping in these white linens. When the stage lights all go out, I'll be okay. Stay high all day in the shade. My mind went up. It didn't come down. It flows all alone in the gracelands. And I don't want to dance with the devil. I just want to confront him at a table. And I don't need your hollow promise. I just need to look you in the eyes and tell you that. You didn't help me make it. The two then stood up as they walk away from the tree, and their eyes meet. You didn't help me make it. You didn't help me make it. They then smiled at each other as they began to walk away from the tree. You didn't help me make it. I don't want to dance with the devil. I've been on my grind like the whole time. So, I'm on a whole different level. As they walk, their voices are being played in the background, while the two looked like they were talking each other. Body gestures showing that are having a good time along with the smiles on their faces. You can see it in my eyes. I was built for this. It's finally my time. Yeah, I killed for this. Plotted from the sidelines till I made the shift. Now, it's my time for the Tekken. I'm just chasing money. Trina dodged the fame. I had plenty of problems before I had my chain. Now, my diamonds are blinding, even in all of your shade. You didn't help me make it. That's a fact. I'm happy to say. I don't want to dance with the devil. I just want to confront him at a table. And I don't need your hollow promise. I just need to look you in the eyes and tell you that you didn't help me make it. On the distance, their friends are waiting by a small van with Gumi being their driver. They then see Izuku and Flower in the distance as they walk at them from the distance. You didn't help me make it. You didn't help me make it. Rin and Oliver ran up to them, Rin managing to tackle Izuku down to the ground, while Flower managed to catch Oliver before getting the same fate. They just laugh as they continued their walk to the van. You didn't help me make it. As the melody continues to play, it was now nighttime and everyone was inside the van. Some were already asleep when Gumi looked at the rear view mirror to see that both Izuku and Flower were asleep, the both of them leaning against each other as Gumi from the sight. The song then ended as the city of Musatafu was last seen before it finally ended. That was actually pretty sweet, Toru said. So you had it rough too? Kyoka asked Flower. You had no idea. But I did like the look on their faces due to where I am now, Flower said with a small smile of pleasure on her face. My turn, Denk said as he grabbed the box. I never really did have a chance in picking one. As he began to look around, everyone went back to chatting. So, ever went along with their tours, specifically world tours? Zero asked the Verdant hero. Well, yeah, that is how I met Ash in the first place, Izuku said. So how does it feel? Ijiro asked. Well, I guess breathtaking, he said as he smiled a bit. I even met the other singers there, their respective employers letting them join the tours so they could have fun while the rest sang. Each tour is crazy due to everyone wanting to explore every place, Len said. Oh yeah, Fuke said as he let out a chuckle as he remembers every single one. Like that one time when we were going to the US with some members from UTEL, Sevio, and Synth by plane with the rest of the kids and teens while the adults have their own. So Pico and I decided to mess with everyone on the plane with different ideas in mind. Pico then laughs and said, I still remembered that. Like how we moved Tay next to Len when they were sleeping. You should have seen how scared he was when Tay wouldn't let him go. What do you expect? Len questions them angrily. You had my stalker sleep next to me, who wouldn't let me go and sleep talks about us getting married. I might also add that she would hurt those who try to get between us. Why is she still active? Ida questions as he and everyone were a bit scared. Because she is all talk, Flower answered with her arms crossed. While she could do it, she wouldn't dare when our companies allowed us to use our quirks to defend ourselves. So if she crossed the line, then she will be immediately put under arrest along with some time in the mental ward. She knows this very clearly, so she is slightly improving, but that still didn't stop her from being too clingy, Rin said. Yuto made sure of this by checking her room every day, Pico said. Okay then, Todoroki said as the others were quite a bit, till Denki finally found a song. All right here, Denki said as he passed the CD to Momo. Love dramatic? Momo said in wonder as she put the CD in and pressed play. Then on screen are two adults that most of the audience didn't know. One of them is a young man with fair skin, spiky black hair, and round light brown eyes. The other is a young woman with long yellow blonde hair in a ponytail with a fringe on the front and greenish yellow eyes. The former wearing a black suit, while the latter is wearing a white wedding dress. Hey, that's my mom and dad. Is this their wedding video? Ash asked. They let us have a copy of their wedding dance, Izuku said as everyone quickly looked back at the screen. Both of them are on the dance floor with other people watching them. Joyful music then began to play from the background as the wedded couple began to dance. Oh love me Mr. Oh Mr. Yum Janai Nara Kikasit. Ni Mr. Mu Mr. Jirasa Riru Hodo Setsunai. Omoi Dake Ga Aberdasu. Sono Shisen Nai Makesu Nai Naru. Futari Dake no Abunai Game. Love is war. Love is war. Love is war. The guests then joined the fun as they dance along, while the couple were doing the paso double. Odorasit. Dramatic wa kor kara. Ijuwaru na koi no yakin shiburu. Furida yubai no saki ga unmei wo machiwabiter. Anata nai iwestai. Kokoro no kabe wo kokoro no kabe wo. Yabaru ai no kokyuhaku. Oh love me Mr. Oh Mr. Yum janai. Nara kikasit. Ni Mr. Mu Mr. Jirasa riru hodo setsunai. Almoi dake ga aberdasu. Sono shisen nai makesu nai naru. Futari dake no abunai game. Love is war. Love is war. Love is war. The two were then doing the tango as another couple danced beside them, both having brown hair. Madoa seat. Sono kai ga nai sauberi de. Adagai nai keikiki wo injitaru. Furui aiga no yuna. Yashishii ketsumatsu wa iranai. Yuzo sai kobumanai. Ai nai dakarit ai nai dakarit. Motto coward midai. Oh love me Mr. Oh Mr. Kairi na yokagao masit. Ni Mr. Mu Mr. Kuchidzuke made gatoku. Utsukushi sat nai kaku sarda. Pure na dake janai hitomi nai. Namakamaru abunai game. Love is war. Love is war. Love is war. Anata wa itsu made. Kari iwanai no. Ai no himitsu ima sugu akashite. Oh love me Mr. Oh Mr. Yum janai nara kikasit. Ni Mr. Mu Mr. Anata no idashii kode. Omoi wa mu tamaranai. Eso subit yubai sat. Futari dake no abunai game. Love is war. 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 The two continued to dance along to the beat, while the rest stopped. They continued to do so energetically till the song finally ends. Before the video ended, the two shared a kiss with guests cheering and clapping before the screen turns black. That was beautiful, Mina said as she then has a pouty face. I feel a little bit jealous. Oh, you'll have your chances, Toru assured her friend. I think that's enough for us, Len said as he and the other guests began to stand up. You're right. We should probably continue the tour, Tenya said as he quickly went for the door. You can check more of the songs if you want. Just don't look around too much, Flower said as she, the group, and their tour guides, with the exception of Momo, Kyoka, and Shoto, then leads them out. Well, you heard them, Siro said with a grin. So who's next? Everyone immediately discussed who is going next. I'll make a very late twin drills special. Okay, where are we going? Tito asked as she has a blindfold on. She knew that it was her birthday today, but she doesn't what it's in store for her. Don't worry, we're almost there, she heard Gumi's voice as she was being led by her and her nephew. You will have your mind blown, she then heard Fukace. But him saying that made Tito a bit angry. This is not better be a prank, Tito said. We made sure that it isn't, Gumi assured her, as she is silent for a few seconds before speaking. All right, here we are, but don't remove the blindfold just yet. Then Tito heard a bell before feeling the cold hair coming probably from a fan or air conditioner. All right, you can take it off. Tito then reaches for the knot behind her head to loosen the blindfold as her eyes adjust to the light. Surprise. Tito then jumps a bit as they're standing there before her are members of Vocaloid, Yutao, Sevio, and many more in a large event center. Along with them are some of their friends that they have made. Happy birthday, Tito-san, Miku said with a wide smile on her face. Come on. Gumi then grabbed Tito's wrist. You don't want to let your guest wait for you, don't you? Tito was then dragged into the crowd, where there is a large feast for her along with her favorite French bread. Then Tito felt a hand on her shoulder. She looked back to see a young man behind her. He has long pink hair and a ponytail with blood-red eyes. His earphones are pink with red illumination. He wears a more masculine version of Tito's clothes. What do you think, Emoto? He asked. It's great, Ted. It's great, Tito answered with a smile, with the now named Ted doing the same. All right, folks, on the stage of the event center, there stood Pico along with Mickey. Let's get this party started. Everyone then cheered as they do various things for the party. There were games that the kids enjoyed with some of the adults, having fun that is either good or bad for the kids. Then there was the food. Everyone rushed to the buffet table, picking whatever food that is on. But Tito made sure that all of the French bread was hers. Then there was the dance. Some are dancing with their friends, family, and loved ones. Especially Tito dancing with one of the many composers that she works with. As the party continues, Tito sits at the table with her brother, Fukase, her nephew Ars, and her niece Cole. She was eating some of the food she gotten along with French bread when she saw someone approached her. It was a young woman wearing a crimson dress, with a sweetheart neckline detailed with gold. The hem of the dress is adorned with a gold thread pattern. Underneath her dress, she wears black tights. Around her waist is a gold belt buckled in the front with a ruby. She wears a gold shoulder plate and cuffs. A cape of bright yellow hangs on her back, the color fading into burnt orange. Upon her golden head sits a pointy gold tiara. Her hair is a dirty blonde at the roots and a pale yellow at the tips. Her eyes are the color of ambers. She has a constellation-like pattern on her cheeks. Her shoes are golden pumps. She accessorizes with a gold necklace and ankle bracelet. A dust of bright colors surrounds her hands. Miss Cassane, the woman greeted her. Celeria, what do you want? Tito asked with a mouthful of bread before swallowing. Well, this for you, the now named Celeria said as she presented Tito an envelope. You could say that this is a very special gift for you. Tito huffs as she grabbed the envelope. Let's see about that. She then opened the envelope to see a piece of paper inside with something printed on it. She looked through the printed paper as her eyes slowly grew wider and wider. She then looked at Celeria with a shocked look on her face and said while pointing at her, Say Psyche right now. Celeria just giggles, while Ted and their niece and nephews have amused looks on their faces. I'm afraid that this is no joke, Celeria said as she then offered her hand to her. Welcome to Synth V, Miss Casson. Tito just sat there in shock, while holding the piece of paper with shaky hands. She then looked to her brother. When was this planned? She asked Ted with a stutter. Well, our boss thought of telling you about the collaboration, but they think it would be better to give this to you as a gift, Ted said with a chuckle before remembering something. And speaking of gifts, Ted then brought out a small red and blue gift. This is for you, he said as he gave it to his sister. With the gift in hand, Tito opened it as tears began to form on her eyes. Inside the gift was a brand new set of clothes, which were red and light gray in color, along with a pair of black boots and a white ribbon. Move. They then saw Pico and Flower carrying a cake towards Tito's table. Move out of the way, people. Cake coming through. The two then set the cake on the table with Fukase, lighting the candles with a small fire coming from his finger. All right, everyone, gather around. Mickey called out as everyone come together as Gumi stood by the birthday girl. Okay, everyone. So a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Blow the candle. Both Rin and Len said in excitement as Tito then blow out the candles. Everyone then cheers. Tito was a little bit shocked, but with what transpires today, she couldn't help but let out tears of joy. Are you okay? Oliver asked as Tito wiped the tears from her eyes. I'm fine, she said with a smile on her face. I'm just very happy. Well, happy birthday, Tito, Ted said to his sister as everyone looked at her with smiles of appreciation. Tito then smiled at them in gratitude and said, Thank you, everyone. So who's next? Kaminari asked the others. I haven't got a turn yet, Aoyama said as the blonde gave him the box, and he began to look through them before finding one. Ah, Fireworks by Katy Perry. Oh, Tilda, another classic, Toru said in excitement as Aoyama gave the CD to Momo. The rich girl then put the CD in the player and pressed play. Then on screen is a teenage Inko, as she was facing a beach while having headphones on. Huh? Isn't that Miss Midoriya? Sue asked as everyone looked at Bakugo for answers. How the fuck do you think I will know that? Even if my old hag knows, would I really fucking care? He said to them. He does have a point, Zero said as he does admit that no one would really care what other people listens to unless they heard it themselves. Oh, it's starting, Mina said as everyone looked back to the screen. On screen, the iconic beat began to play before Inko began to sing. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? Drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin? Like a house of cards, one blow from Kavanagh. Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screams, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you? 'Cause there's a spark in you. She then used her quirk as small balls of sand float around her. She twirls in place, and the sand ball of sand follows her movement. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night. Like the 4th of July. She then raised up her arms, making the balls of sand go skyward, while continuing to circle around in various sizes. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go. Oh, oh, oh. As you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go. Oh, oh, oh. You're gonna leave 'em all in awe. She then dropped her hands as the ball of sands followed along and stayed still. You don't have to feel like a waste of space. Your original cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds. After a hurricane comes a rainbow. Maybe a reason why all the doors are closed. So you could open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow. And when it's time, you'll know. The balls of sand then fell apart as Inko commanded them before turning them into an elegant stream and dances around her. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night. Like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go. Oh, oh, oh. As you shoot across the sky. The long stream of sand then breaks apart to more smaller streams that now orbits around Inko in different directions and angles. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go. Oh, oh, oh. You're gonna leave 'em all in awe. Oh, oh. Inko then commanded the streams of sand into the air, dispersing them in the air like fireworks. Boom, boom, boom. Even brighter than the moon, moon, moon. It's always been inside of you. Yeep, yeep. And now it's time to let it through. More streams of sand then came from the ground and went into the air so they could blow up like fireworks. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go. Oh, oh, oh. As you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go. Oh, oh, oh. You're gonna leave 'em all in awe, awe, awe. Boom, boom, boom. Even brighter than the moon, moon, moon. Boom, boom, boom. Even brighter than the moon, moon, moon. The song then ended as Inko stopped using her quirk. She then looks at the camera and smiled before the screen goes black. That was really cool, Mina said with stars on her eyes. It was amazing, Shoto added as he nods. I guess, Bakugo grumbles, but he did agree with everyone. And he was a bit interested about it now, and he might ask his mother. So who's next? Kyoka asked. I could go Kiro, Suyu said as she took the box and began to look around before finally found something that fits her taste. All I know by real. This ought to be good, Kirishima said as Tsu gave Momo the CD, and the rich girl puts it in the player before pressing play. Then on screen is Teninko again, but she is now with both Tatsumaki and Fubuki by her side. Both of them also teenagers. Hey, aren't those the psychic sisters? Shiro pointed out as everyone were surprised by this. Are they related somehow? Sato thought out loud. It is a possibility. Miss Midoriya's quirk does look like a more weaker version of the two, Momo said. Look, it's starting, Denki said as everyone looked back to the screen. As the song began to play, the three sisters began to dance to the rhythm. Todoroki going full conspiracy mode. I found you in the spring and held you through the summer. But when all the leaves changed, you went cold. You slipped right through my fingers, held so tight they blistered. Couldn't last the winter. Now I'm alone. Inko stood in front, while Tatsumaki and Fubuki were on the back, as they continued to dance. I'm told it just takes a little time. You let it out and one day you just be all right. And I swear that I'm trying, but I just can't seem to let you go. The screen seems to shake as the three of them dance like there is nothing holding them back. So can we rewind to the good times? To the long days and the warm nights. When you were mine, under starlight. Made these big plans for a lifetime. Tatsumaki and Fubuki then flew to the air, while Inko dances beautifully for the audience to see. But you keep getting colder. I don't understand you. How one day you love me, the next you don't. I guess we're getting older. You change with the seasons. All I know it's winter, and I'm alone. Inko then stops as both her sisters floats around her from above. I'm alone. I'm alone. Inko danced with a little bit of grace as her sisters floats down with their backs against each other. I guess you don't remember. Guess you never meant it. Wish you never said it. My mind's their home. Now I'm scared to forget you. Look back and regret you. The moment I do, then it's real. We froze, be all right. The older and younger sister then join the middle sister in the front as the three of them dance together. I'm told it just takes a little time. You let it out and one day you just be all right. And I swear that I'm trying, but I just can't seem to let you go. So can we rewind to the good times? To the long days and the warm nights. When you were mine, under starlight. Made these big plans for a lifetime. But you keep getting colder. I don't understand you. How one day you love me, the next you don't. I guess we're getting older. You change with the seasons. All I know it's winter, and I'm alone. The three of them sat down, their backs against with each other, as they have their eyes closed while Inko sings. So can we rewind to the good times? Long days and warm nights. When you were mine, under starlight. Made these big plans for a lifetime. The three of them jumped to their feet as they continue dance for their viewers. But you keep getting colder. I don't understand you. How one day you love me, the next you don't. I guess we're getting older. You change with the seasons. All I know it's winter, and I'm alone. The three sisters then stand side by side before giving a bow, and the video ended. Most of the class then give a round of applause when Sato grabbed the box. All right, my turn, Sato said as he began to look around. While he does that, most decided to chat. So, I have been thinking, Minta said. This better not be something perverted, Kyoka warned him. Her jacks raised to prove her point. It's not. Well, maybe a little. The jacks closed to him and Minta frantically waved his hands. It's not that bad. I am just wondering if Midoriya has more girls. This stopped everyone as they thought about it. I mean, do you think that Midoriya has more girls other than Flower and Rin? The pervert said. Well, he and Kagami were close friends, but I don't know about him and Kaikane. But the possibilities is there, Momo said. Why are you calling them by their surnames? Denki asked. Well, it would be rude to say their names since we are not that acquainted. While they are very famous, it is still very respectful to say their surnames till we have a better relationship with them, the rich girl said as Ida nods. I do agree with that, Tenya said as he then looked at Minta with a judging look on his face. But what you are especially asking is very disrespectful. You shouldn't ask something so complicated, especially one of our classmates. Can a dude just be a little bit curious? Minta defended himself. You can just ask them, Toru suggested. I bet Fukase has some really juicy information, Mina said with a cheeky smile on her face. With the already rising tension that would result into more arguments, Rikito just picked a random CD to quickly avoid it. Got one, he said as he then gave it to Momo, who looked at it in interest. Amazing Dolce, she said out loud, which got some reactions from the others. This would be good, Asui said. Really good, Minta commented with a perverted look on his face. But Kyoka quickly saw this and jabbed her jacks at his head. As Minta screams in pain, Momo puts the CD in the player and pressed play. There appearing both Rin and Len on a stage with a cheering crowd facing them and an older woman in her 30s with them. The three of them wearing clothes fitting for a fantasy setting. First off, the woman with them has short brown hair and hazel eyes. She is currently wearing on the video is a red dress with frilled underlayers, a pink and brown striped apron with white frills, a short, red, collared coat with puffed shoulders and white inner fabric, a brownish red crop top with matching detachable sleeves, white sleeve coverings tied with red ribbons, a white ribbon tied at the waist, brownish red stockings, and red boots with white cuffs with strawberry ornaments. Additionally, she is wearing red contact lenses and a brownish red witch hat with multicolored ornaments perched on it. Next, Rin is wearing an orange dress with various patterns and white frills and puffed shoulders with brown cuffs, a light orange underdress, an orange choker with an ornament hanging from it, white gloves with orange ribbons on the wrist, a brown apron with citrus patterns, orange and brown striped stockings, and white high-heeled Mary Janes with orange soles and citrus ornaments on the sides. Additionally, Rin wears an orange headband with a brown hem and white frills on the back, and her hair clips become brown and are moved to the left side. Lastly, Len is wearing a collared shirt that is white on the top with green stripes on the sleeves and matching cuffs, and becomes brown on the lower part with green diamond patterns, a green ribbon at the neck, white, fingerless gloves with green and brown cuffs, a brown waist apron with green hems held by a brown belt, green pants, and white boots with brown tips, green soles, and ribbons tied around the cuffs. Additionally, Len's hair is mostly combed down and parted to the right with a cowlick sticking out, and has his ponytail placed at the bottom of his head with a green and white bow. Rin and Len looked so adorable, Toru said in adoration. Those are very fashionable, stunning even, Aoyama commented. Denki let out a whistle as he looks at the older woman. Even now, Mako still looks really hot. Minta was about to say something till Tsuyu slams him on the face with her tongue. Oh, it's starting, Kyoka said to everyone. Then a winding sound could be heard as Mako and the twins began to move on stage, as they then dance when the song starts. Shizukana Mori no Yoru. Majo wa Matamu. Kyokyoku no Mahuo. Some of the viewers sway with the beat, as it was very melodic. Dare mo Katawakashi. Tabakiri amazing nai is now. Sweets ga, tabatai no. When the upbeat and outgoing part of the song came in, most of the viewers couldn't help but tap their feet or move along with the beat. Amai kaori shitagawasi. Yudagaken, yobasemis. Tsuyumku iro a, misetsukit sexy. Minta was about to get a picture with his phone when Tsuyu slapped it off his hands. Magical cooking, Hajimaru yo tilde. Amai dekya, fumarane deso? Tekadona nagasa mo hitseo. Ni, hashai nara, koweku neta. San, isho nai torikmashu. Kairi nai kazuritsuk, o harem. Sana nai jirasanai detara. Mu. Oh, sorry. Junbai wa yoroshiku? Seiku no sweets magic, misetaguru. Both Mina and Toru then get off their seats as they began to dance as some of their classmates cheered them on when the rest continued to listen to the song, tapping their feet and bobbing their heads with the beat. Torokuru yauni kuchizukit. Kokoro yuku made. Omshiagari. Kami mo satan mo madoesru. Gokuju no honey. Sweets ga. Tabatai no. Negai. Katai. Bechapcha. Kojsigi. Kaiwu mo ante. Documenta. Hitakuchi Kamba go to hell. Meshamazu cooking. Mata shippai tilde. Kunin no michai. Magical cooking. Jimin no mahu mo kikanai. Mu. Odia. G. Nad fukuna ending. Akurumaru no wa mata heiai. Kentana kodo w. Shimaranai. Des. U. Pachisserie no michai wachu tilde kyushit. Sordimo, sukanaraba, ikryu mezashite. Sa, isho nai ganbaramishu. Yasashiku. Nadaru yauna tetsuki de. Sana nai ranbu nai shicha daimyo. Oh, sorry. Banji wa. Nukaranaku. Hantu no sweets magic, miseniguru. Torakuru yauna sweets no. Oji wa beauty. Sexy. Am I? Kami mo mawu mo unarisru. Gokuju no honey sweets o meshiager. Muru no hai mo hitoba kara. Ikamai zutsu, kasanit. Gakan o kushishite. Kansei o tanjishumes. Dakaiwu wa yurisanai. Chauriba wa senju dazi. Sa, pishi, pashi, to ikumeshu. Denki, Siro, and Kirishima then joined in with Mina and Toru, while the invisible girl dragged along Ojiro. Momo was just clapping her hands, and the rest were simply enjoying the song as it is. Then came that part as Minta tried to take a picture again, but Tsuyu slapped it away again, and Kyoka stabbed her jacks at him to incapacitate him till the song finally ends. Kibishiai shuju, no hibai o kote. Kansei, cool and brilliant. Na sweets. So beauty. Tashika nana, ajuta. Tayamanyu doryoku tu. Kiru no tsumikasen, yes. Sorda wa. It's showtime. Torakuru yauna suyitsuo. Kokoro yuku made. Omshiage. Shiage hako, no spiced. Mahu o kakemashu sa. Oshiku nar. Momo kayan. Torakuru, yu na kuchidok wa. How? Chi? Buono? Rico? Excellent. Delicious. Yumi. Kami mo satan mo madoesru. Gokuju no honey sweetso. Terafuku, meshiager. The song just continues as Mako and the twins continues to dance till they stopped when they heard a buzzing sound. Everyone then calmed down as the ones who danced went back to their seats with smiles on their faces. Next, Kyoka said as Kaminari raised his hand. Me, he said as he then grabbed the box before grabbing a CD from it. He then looks at it with a smile on his face before giving it to Momo. Momo then looked at the CD and said with interest, nostalgic. Kyoka then gave Denki a dirty look and said, really? The blonde just let out a nervous chuckle as Momo then puts the CD in the player and PRS said play. On screen is Mako, but she is now wearing her iconic cropped, open-collared, sleeveless, red jacket, a red collar with gray and red ornaments, black, see-through cuffs with moving red parameters, a red skirt with a slit on the bottom left front revealing a black petalled inner fabric that goes around under the skirt, and brown boots with light brown shafts. Damn, she's hot, Minta mutters as he saw Kyoka glaring at him. What? She is. Yeah, she was like our childhood crush back then, Siro said as some of the boys did agree with him, while the rest didn't want to admit it. Gyro just groans as she rubbed the bridge of her nose and said, "Let's just get into the song." On screen, the song began to play as it was suspenseful at first, till Mako began to move as she dances with the beat. Meiko Meiko. Ayaraha. Fuhu. Now having enough of the suspense, Mako began to sing, which something some of the guys are waiting for. Fui ni Yagaru Hashagiko. 02 Ikai de no Kasorata past days. Mun o Tsuku Itami, no Wakwa. Akuram. Soratomo nostalgic. Matataku Hikari ni Sasur. Kako o Tadori Megari, were ni Kari. Mi no mi ni Hiragaru Kashikiwa. Kimi Tamita Murai to Anaji. Tuku ni Kieta Raku Agaki no Yutakido. Most of the viewers are now bopping their heads to beat, while some even sway with it, as they just enjoy the feeling of the song. Urisenide. Ima mo boku ni kikotara. Ima mo boku ni kikotara. Mako was now just strutting around the stage, eliciting the crowd to cheer for her loudly. Meiko Meiko. Yamaha? Fuhu. Having enough with showing off for now, Mako continues to sing for her audience. Miui ni Sujuru Jikendik. Onaji Ikai de Nagametata like chess pieces. Yuzuru Yuku Kagiaki Sorwa. Mokiteki? Soratomo nostalgic. Habataku Tsubasa o Yokom nai. Karamawari Bakari Asari Tsunori. Katariata Kibu Kanose. Ano Hibai ga Tada Koishai. Tuku Misyuta Hajimari, no Basho Kido. Tada Sor Date ga. Iman no Boku o Sasiduru. Iman no Boku o Sasiduru. Mako then began to strut as she winked once before going back, as she just dances with the beat. Meiko Meiko. Nostalgic. Nostalgic. Then the floor below her began to rise up, giving her a platform that makes the audience look up at her in amazement. Asa ga Kiru made me o Tajai. Soshite Hitsuji to Kukai o Kazoru no. Motoranai Kodo Gurai Wakataru Kido. Demo da Kido Risu wa Sutezu nai. Tuku nai Kieta Raku Agaki no Yuda Kido. Erosenai di. Imamo Boku nai Kikotaru. Tuku Mezashita Yakisoku no Basho Zuro. Iki. Hajimazit. Imamo Boku wa Mezashitara. Imamo Kimi wa Mezashitara. La 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 ha ah. As she just dances on her platform high on the high, when the rather spicy part of the video shows up. Both Mainta and Denki just watches the camera pointing exactly at her chest, which resulted to Gyro and Asui punishing them with jabbing and slapping respectively. As the song about to end, Mako just dances with a bright smile on her face, as she then did a pose at the end. Everyone then began to clap, while both Minoru and Kaminari nursed themselves from the punishment that they have gotten. Hey Todoroki, want to pick one again? Mina asked as Shoto looked at the box before looking back at the pinkette. Sure, he said as Mina gave him the box, and he looks around in it till he grabbed another CD and looks at it with a raised eyebrow. He then gave it to Momo, and the ponytail girl grabbed it. 1,000,000 times by my first story. Momo read it out loud. Never knew that you liked that type of genre, Denki said. Not that, look at the bottom of the title, Shoto said. Everyone looked at him as Momo looked at below the title and said out loud. Covered by MI and HK. Huh? Never really noticed that, Kirishima said. It is a given that MI is Midoriya, but who is HK? Toru said as everyone ponders about it. We could know if we played the song, Zero said. Oh yeah, Momo play it, Mina said as Momo then placed the CD at the player and pressed play. On screen, Izuku is seen with a girl near their age, as the two of them are having their back against each other in a dark black room, with only a light from above hitting them. Oh Tilda, it's another girl, Mina said with sparkles in her eyes. The girl in question has fair skin and black hair that extends beneath her chin, with a short ahoj. Her eyes are dark gray. She also has a white clip that comprises 4 rhombuses, each facing the cardinal directions, connected to a presumed diamond-like piece. The clip's shape is similar to a compass. The two of them are wearing rather casual clothes. Then the song began to play as the soft melodic hums and light strumming could be heard. Then came the drums and electric guitars as a bright light covered the two of them. It soon went away as Izuku was now in his hero costume, while the girl with him also has a change of clothes. The girl now wears a black suit of armor with red accents. It has a crest of a flower and an image of a rose on the armor's chest piece. Underneath is a red leotard, matching gloves, and thigh-high stockings. The armor's focus points of durability are the gauntlets, shin guards, boots, and breastplates. Red mesh fabric covers her body's least protected parts, but some skin remains exposed. Her armor descends into a cloak-like drape with a dark exterior and red underside. She also carries around a heavy-looking shield that is mainly black with red patterns carved geometrically onto its surface. A large red gem plated with the same black material is at the shield's center. Along with the shield carries another weapon, an ornate short sword that is usually kept hidden inside the sheath strapped to her waist. As the breathtaking instrumental continues to pick up the tension, as the once dark room turned to a lush open plain. The energy just continues to build up when the Izuku began to sing. Tui Sora no Hoshi Haiku Shida Mama. Onaji Yoru wo Negai Nagara Mayageta. Then the girl behind him began to sing as well. Subit wo Tsunagu Sen ga Odo wo Tarit Kyujert. Fukaku Mazuriao Hodo nai Yoke wo Nazanduru. Then flying past them is a large red dragon, as the two of them look at each other. Michai Naki Michai wo Suzandeta. Ko Nakigo wo Teori Naishite. The two then smiled as they nod at each other before looking towards a world that is just mystifying. The audience were taken aback by this, as the TV is showing them a world where it could only be found in fairy tales. Wow. Ochako said in awe, with the rest feeling the same. Namo Naki Yuta wo Hibikasada. Hantu no Inori nai Ime ti wo Nobishitaru. The two then ran towards the open plains as they see the fantastical world around them without a care in the world. Orokashiku Yurawashai Jinsei ga Ikagurishikut mo. Kabe wo Takakariba Takai Hodo Norikoru Imi ga Aru Kara. Then the TV showed the two of them fighting off a small group of bandits when Izuku did the finishing blow to the bandit leader. Haikimanan no Ikai demo Yumga Kanao Nara. Boku wa Nando demo Tatakai Tsuzuki Yuku Kara. Then it shows the two in the middle of the sea during a treacherous storm, as the two of them fought of a massive sea monster that is attacking the ship that they were on. Anada ga Inakia Hajimuranayo. Shaubu wo Tsukanakia Oranayo. Then it showed the two fighting off a giant, as the girl with Izuku summoned a three-headed serpent made from poison. Boku to Kimi no Monogatari Naiwa. Dare mo Nani mo Ai Yashinayo. Then it showed the two resting beside a campfire, as the two of them are sharing a blanket for the cold night. Arikatari na Sekai wo. Kata Yabari na Sekai Ito. Kararu Hitori Janai Kara. Then the two of them are walk on the dirty road, as they were soon joined by their friends like Ash, Rin, Len, Hansuk, and many others that the audience don't know of wearing different styles of costumes. All of them walking this same dirt road with one direction in mind, as they all have large smiles on their faces. Mishugu na Michai wo Suzumu Toki esse. Fuen dake wa Kizu nai Isuku Madateta. The TV then showed the large group fighting off a skeleton horde. Itsu no ma nai ka soto kara kokoro wo kataku tazashi. Jibun sei mo wasari chikai wo yabateta. Then it showed them having to stop a massive dam to break. Kawaita warai wo yukabit shinda namada wo namahoshida. Then it showed them crossing a mountain range during a storm. Uganda omoi wo tsuti kono mama ushinai su dakara. Then it showed them fighting a massive black dragon as they charge at it, with Izuku rushing in with some of the party. while the girl follows suit with the rest. Izuku then punched it on the face, as Ash fired off some balls of energy at the same spot. Kurawashiku Utsukushai Zetsubu Nai Tsutsumikamaritmo. Rin and Len charged at the beast on a horse, as the both of them have their blades ready. Meanwhile, Hansuke is preparing a large spell that is clearly shown by the magic circles that surrounds him. Saki ga Kirakriba Kuroi, Hodo Tsuraku Meu Hai Mo Aru Kido. Rin and Len then strikes the dragon's legs with an orange-haired girl with 2 pairs of swords followed suit, striking at the weakened spot of the dragon. The dragon was angry as it tried to attack, but it was stopped by a young man with black hair firing gemstones at him. Haikyukunin Momi Kara Hikari wa Arukara. Izuku and Ash then struck it at its chest, making the dragon stumble back before the girl with the shield pushed it even further to the ground. Boku wa Seigo made Nozomi wo Sutezu nai Uranda. The dragon tried to attack again, but a blue-haired girl fired a rocket at its face, which stuns the beast before a very muscular teenage boy with white hair punched it with a black fist. Shinjitsu wa Yowaku Hakanakute Itsuwari wa Tsuyoku Mushibamunda. Both Izuku and the shield girl then stand by each other with the rest, as the dragon tried to stand up. Kimi to Boku no Ketsumatsu Nant. Shiro ka Kuro ja Kaimernayo. Hansuke then finished his spell, as he then summoned Mechanical Golem, that is the same size as the dragon. Arafuradaru Kaisuke wo Machukadaru Sadam Demo. Kawaranai Hitatsu Janai Kara. The group then stand by each other, looking at each other before they gain smiles on their faces, armed and ready to fight as they face the now recovering dragon as it roars at them. Electricity seems to slowly cover Izuku as he and his friend are ready to fight. Weapons high, spells are ready. They are ready to end this fight. Hitori de Kawashite Futari dia Wasta. Izuku and the shield girl then look at each other with smiles on their faces as the both of them nod and face their adversary. Ano hai no Yakusoku wo Hatashite. All of them charged at the dragon. Spells are being fired, and those with weapons charge at the monstrous beast. Orakashiku Uruwashai Jinsei ga Ikagurashikute mo. Kabe wo Takakareba Takai Hodo Norikoru Imi ga Arukara. Izuku punched it again on its face along with Ash, while Rin and Len jumped from their horse to strike the dragon's wings. Haikumenon no Ikai Demo Yun ga Kanao Nara. The golem then hits the dragon with its mechanical fist at the dragon, as the winged beast fired a fire attack to stop it, but that was blocked by the shield girl, so it got hit and stumbled back. Boku wa Nando Demo Tatakai Tsuzukite Yuku Kara. The blue-haired girl with the gem-using boy then fired at the dragon with everything they got, while Hansuke fired bolts of lightning. Anata ga Inakia Hajimaranayo. Izuku then faced the distracted dragon, while having his left hand holding his right wrist. Shaobu wo Sukanakia. Oranayo. The shield girl standing in front of him as the poisonous hydra appeared before her again. Boku to Kimi. No Monogatari Naiwa. Dare mo nani mo iia shinayo. Izuku then rushed in, his right fists glowing brightly, while the shield girl commanded the hydra to attack. Arikatari na sekai wo. Katyabiri. Na sekai ito. Kararu Hitori Janai Kara. Both attacks hit as it causes a bright light and large smoke screen that was soon followed by an aftershock. The others hold their ground before it finally stopped. The others looked on before they saw Izuku falling in the air. The shield girl quickly ran and threw her large shield to catch him. The rest soon followed as they gathered around Izuku, who was groaning, as they gave him sighs of relief. Izuku just smiles nervously as Rin grabbed his right arm. But the audience didn't expect for the shield girl to grab his left, causing her and Rin to glare at each other. While most are applauding, Mainta was glaring at the screen. I knew it. The pervert yelled in anger, But he was soon knocked out by a hard slap by Asui. I think it's my turn, Shoji said as he took the box as everyone just waits for him to get a new song.